어우, 네. 좋아요. 그 베스트가 얼마나 쌓이느냐도 되게 중요할 것 같은데, 이 베스트 동보일.
여러분 넘어서는 정도의
이런 거.
킬 됐어요. 또 이거 좋은데요.
네. 지금 레벨을 2레벨을 벌써 찍었어야 되는. 이게 120이 오늘.
자, 그래서 이것까지 먹으면은
컨디션 극상인데요.
이걸 다 먹었어요.
먹었네요. 먹었어요.
신났네요.
그래도 시간으로 봤을 땐 이제 슬슬 모여야 되는 타이밍 아닌가요? 이제 낮이 되어가고 있죠. 와, 아프다.
됐어.
우와, 아프다. 우와, 엄청 아파요. 보일로가 쓰면서 아쳐 잡으려고 노력을 해줍니다. 다시 한번 중딩 해골.
데스나이트 점사 공략.
줄어드는 인구수의 나이트 헬프예요.
그렇습니다.
아직까지 디스로이어
뭐야,
많이 닿지 않았고요.
전사했어요.
네, 힘이 엄청 센데요. 디스 살았어 아직. 잠깐만. 다시 한번 레벨업.
알킥까지 전사.
이렇게
데스나이트
되면
노렸는데 데스나이트 완전히 실패했어요. GG.
유닛도 뽑아야 되고 일단은 만화가 많이 없는 게 굉장히
자,
큰데요.
데스나이트 집
길
가세요.
막고 입구
가세요
막고
하는
입구
거죠.
막고 자, 추가적으로 계속해서 PC 눌러주면서
만화가 더 있죠.
빠집니다. 네.
자, 이러면 리치가 죽어요. 리치 죽었어요.
리치.
저는 죽었다고 봅니다. 정확하게 죽었죠.
네. 자, 지속적으로 일단은 일꾼들에게 피해를 주고 있는 그런 모습인데요. 오히려 잠겼어요. 갈 수 있는 곳 없이 잠겼어요.
이거 터졌는데요.
완전히 잠겼어요. 박준호 선수가.
포탈 타면 그냥 테크는 느린 거고.
네.
지금 아까 박준호 선수가 대력을 워낙 늦게 잊었잖아요.
포탈 탑니다. 자, 프레스 오브 파이어까지 귀찮게 만들어주고 있는 그런 상황이라고 보시면 될 것 같고요.
이거 지지 나올 수밖에 없죠. 이거
GG를 선언합니다. 일단 파고드는 그 위치가 좀 필요할 것 같은데 사이펀만화가 풀타임 이 상황에서
지금 싸움 오크가 이기.
위치가 너무 좋았습니다.
다 들어갔죠 사실상.
그리고 스피릿.
자, 라이플맨부터 일단은 무조건 잡아주겠다.
설마 이거 막.
근데 또 베니시 들어갔고요. 베니시를 한 발 찼어요.
그리고 나서 블러드 베이지 보세요. 맞아보세요 블러드 베이지.
아니 그렇게 도전을 오래 했는데도 불구하고 아직까지 300이 넘는 상황이죠.
만화가 진짜 이게 마르지 않는 샘물이에요. 자, 무기 품에 무기 붙여놓은 것 같죠? 네, 그리고 안쪽으로 계속 파시어 멀리 봐야 돼요. 파시어 이름값
팬더
썼나요?
팬더 앱쇼까지 있네요.
썼나요?
팬더 전사 같습니다.
본진이네요. 본진이면 포탈이죠.
안 되겠다. 이건 안 되겠다.
야, 이거 날아가면 나 진짜
강제 점사가 돼요. 아크메이지!
태웠어요.
거의 죽었어요. 거의.
좋았어요.
좀 더 모아야 될 것 같은데.
네.
지금
여기서 리치는 좀 세네요.
무조건 있어요.
리치는 좀 세네요. 그렇죠. 일단은 뽑아내는 거죠. 뽑아내요.
아크메이지. 전서.
디스트로이의 숫자가 지금 너무 많고요. 지상군이
팔라딘
되면
팔라딘 전서 잠깐만.
데스나이트 레벨 5레벨 넘긴 상황. 리치도 5레벨 직전. 핀너드도 5레벨 직전입니다.
안 들어놓네요 그냥.
이제 들어갑니다. 이제 더 이상의 미래는 없다. 싸움만이 유일하게 내게 허락된 오요요요. 조금 씁니다. 네, 어쩔 수 없어요.
와 대박 대마포 사가지고 이걸로.
잠깐만요. 쇼크웨이브
한 발밖에 안 남았어요. 근데
그래도 안 되겠죠.
네, 쇼크웨이브 못 날려요.
내 만화. 그래도.
네, 설마 아니겠죠.
자,
빨리 가야 돼요.
인비지입니다. 자, 인비지예요. 쇼크웨이브. 이거 몰라요. 진짜 몰라요. 각봅니다.
자, 위에서 각. 자,
위에서 때리고 쇼크웨이브. 여기 고정 위치 넓은 데로 한번 잡아보자. 또 더 와. 들어와. 자, 디토네이트 들어갑니다. 디토가
지금 또 피할. 말도 안 되게 들어갔어요.
이 흠뻑 젖었어요. 요거는 장맛비에 젖듯 퍽 젖어버렸습니다.
할 수도 있고. 자, 그냥 옆으로 갑니다.
디토가 될 것처럼 보이다.
피하는 쪽으로 가요.
더 이상 피할 곳조차도 보이지 않는 샤먼의 위치. 디토는 조금 버텨줘요.
컨트롤 때문에 디토를 지금 제대로 못 본 것 같고요.
이 정도면 어떻게 되나요? 일단 영웅한테 디토예요.
아키몬드도 못 버티는데 이거 힐러원서 저걸로 버틸 수가 없어.
일단 소가 오래가 버텨보는데 안 돼요. 디토네이트.
자, 디토를 조금 더 포탈.
이거는 주겠는데요.
잠깐만 EP
초대박.
이거 살렸네요. 자, 그리고 위습이 좀 늦게 오긴 했는데.
그래도 뒤늦게 오기는 왔어요. 살릴 수가 있나요?
자, 무한으로 살리면은 괜찮아요. 근데 방금 디토가 너무 잘 들어갔어요.
이렇게 되면 인탱글 묶이면서
집중전사
여기 없는데요. 돈이 없기 때문에 추가적으로
파시오.
여기까지인가요?
파시오. 전사하겠네요.
전사합니다. GG 받아내는 조시시.
A powerful innovation has arrived, with the speed to go beyond limitation and discover the unreal. Introducing the Samsung NVMe SSD 970 series, the key to unlocking your power, with the performance to reach beyond the expected, the capacity to illuminate a world of ideas, and the reliability to sustain it all. Samsung's latest NVMe M.2 SSD. Unreal performance realized.
World Cyber Games Beyond the Game, Playday 5, and we go into week number 2 here. All the players have done one match already, more or less successfully, and now who's gonna take the lead into the playoffs? We got 1-0 versus Chaemiko, we got Infi versus Soin, we got Neo, we got Remo, we got the World Cyber Games.
Absolutely. Group A and B today. In Group A, we see the winners facing off, which means the winner here will have a really good chance to make it out of the group. And Group B, it's kind of the losers match with Soin having lost and Infi having lost as well. May sound weird, but he was playing against Fly. There was a super against Lin, of course. That's what I meant to say. It was a super sick match there. Infi, though, still good chances in Group B. He is certainly expected to make it out there as well.
Wonderful to have one of the biggest tournaments in all of esports back and supporting Warcraft 3 with 2 tournaments. We got the solo competition. That's what we're broadcasting right here. And afterwards, we have a team competition. And the teams were revealed yesterday. I wonder when we'll see them on the broadcast, but they are pretty promising, I can tell you that. So we hear the music. What is this all about? As I said, 4 games, 2 tournaments for Warcraft 3 every Monday to Wednesday, all at noon. And the players here play for $25,000.
Hell yeah. That's a pretty prize purse here to be distributed among the top 4. And of course, a lot of prestige. WCG, throughout pretty much Warcraft's entire history, when there were those tournaments, had an insanely high amount of prestige with them. And we saw that last year as well from the players, how important it was to them, and how much the fans also admire and adore this tournament.
Xi'an, man. Beautiful, beautiful memories. We'll never forget the summer of 2019. This time, all online, and it's all China versus Korea, but this is the best of the East for sure. All the players are playing. This is the only tournament, I think, where TH and Infi are participating both to represent their country. So looking forward to that. Can Infi defeat his title? He has to do some catching up here. 1-2-0, the winner. Chaemiko, the winner. And they are facing here. And in Group B, it's the opposite. It's the 2 losers clashing, as you said, Remo. Infi versus Soin. And it's both could have won their games, I would say. So whoever loses here today in Group B is probably out.
Yeah, pretty much. With a weird constellation with 3 people being 1 and 2, it could work out that even with a negative win record you can make it through, but it's very, very unlikely. So you need to get the win today. And Infi, you know, a confident player, certainly, but perhaps a bit of pressure on him as well, starting into this with a loss. And here's last year's champion. You think he's feeling that pressure today?
Infi is the Iceman. Do you think he feels any pressure? That was the one match that he could maybe lose on a not-so-great day. Lin is a monster. So I think he knows that he can still get second place, and from there on out, sky is the limit. We start with 1-2-0 versus Chaemiko, though. We got Amazonia, we got Last Refuge, we got Northern Isles, and we got Human versus Undead.
All right, standard bans, and by that I mean standard play bans. And this was an interesting question here going into this 1-2-0. What's he going to play? What's he going to veto? He vetoed Echo Isles and Terranastan, the good expansion maps, the good human maps in the case of standard DK play. But 1-2-0 has been playing different strategies. He showed before in another tournament that he can also win with Crypt Lord, but with those bans now revealed by him, I guess he's going back to standard, going super tryhard mode here in WCG.
Yeah, he could become the second Undead champion of the World Cyber Games. Of course, legendary run by TED in 2012. For both of these players, it's the first World Cyber Games. They tried to qualify in 2019, but when World Cyber Games was regularly played from 2003 to 2013, they weren't even in the scene.
Yeah, they are one of these... Well, up and coming isn't the right term. They have been a solid part of the community of the pro scene for a long time, but they are this new generation of Warcraft gods. We all know the Lins, the Infis, the Moons who have been there forever. But Chaemiko, and especially 1-2-0, came in later, but 1-2-0 has firmly established himself as one of the greatest in the world. And I'm sure he wants to show this year how far he can go in WCG. As you said, last year he didn't have a chance.
Yeah, major victory by 1-2-0 is quite some time away. It's not the time where he won WGL back-to-back or Masters Colosseum. And Chaemiko, he's still waiting for his first major title. Weekly Cups, Tier 3 Cups, yeah, he's been there. He's been in finals as well. But championship is always one step harder, and he's not... been close recently. So can WCG give this extra motivation for Chaemiko? In recent weeks, I would think he's not even the best human in Korea.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Of course, the titles between him and Sok for a long time, they were really close to each other. In fact, Chaemiko looked stronger for quite some time, but he seems to have been overtaken by Sok recently. But Chaemiko has shown really strong plays against Undead in the past. He has beaten 1-2-0 in the past. Now, historically, it is in favor of 1-2-0, about 78 to 22%. But the Korean certainly has a chance, but it's going to be rough.
It is going to be rough. And once again, to explain the system here at the World Cyber Games, we play a full best of 3. That means if it's 2-0, we're not going to stop. We will show the third map as well, as this could become important for the map score later on, as the group stage is round robin. Everybody in the group faces the other players, not the double elimination that we're kind of used to from WGL. But here we are, map number 1 in week number 2. 1-0 and Chaemiko both undefeated, and 1-0 defeated Moon. That was an absolute statement win in week 1. Can he pick up that momentum and make it a 2-0, and with that, the playoffs?
He's absolutely capable of that. If he plays as well as he did against Moon, then Chaemiko has good reason to be afraid. That was a sick, strong match by 1-0 in a matchup that normally he is not that amazing in against Night Elf. Don't get me wrong, he's really good, but his best matchups have always been against Human and against Orc, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Looking at the build here, it is the Crypt Lord after all.
On Northern Isles.
Yes, on Northern. It's doable. The expansion is doable. Most importantly, the Human doesn't have the Merc Camp option, which is really impactful for the early game. I wonder, is that a semi-psychological play? He removes the good Crypt Lord maps, trying to lure Chaemiko into a false sense of security, making him think it's going to be all standard, and suddenly we have a Crypt Lord, which should most likely mean a fast expansion.
That's the new strength of the Undead, right? That they have several openings that they can pick from. And if Chaemiko, like, everyone in the world is going back to DK standard, so I guess his practice was leaning towards DK standard, especially on Northern Isles. I sound like a broken record here, but 1-0 invented the 6 Peasant Harass against an expansion, and that seemed to be unbeatable in recent weeks. But now, the Humans have found some ways to play against that, with the Bouncer Footman protecting peasants and all. So it's not going to be that easy as it once was, and this is the absolute curveball by 1-0, going for the Crypt Lord, going for his own expansion instead of the instant harass.
But he did scout this, so Chaemiko now has to adjust very quickly. He probably wanted to fast expand, but seeing the Crypt Lord now, I guess the plan has changed. AM is moving towards the middle of the map, but he's going for the green camp, actually. Okay, so he'll be creeping level 2 first, and then moving over. By that time, 1-0 should have taken the full camp, I think. Okay, interesting. We saw from other Humans in the past, for example, Blade, if they know it's a Crypt Lord, go for one green camp first, the one outside the main with the Murlocs, and then move over with level 1 and creep at some point Militia at the other green to get level 2 while teching. But okay, Crypt Lord gets level 2 here. Crystal Ball, not the best find for him. And the AM is just creeping for now. Is he teching?
Wow, Chaemiko. Yes, he is. He's not exposing the south of the map as a second point of attack for the beetles, for the ghouls. But that means he only has one source of income, and that's the main base. He will be the one that has to kill the second gold mine of his opponent. This is a bizarro world in this matchup compared to 6 months ago.
Yeah, normally you want to be aggressive against the Crypt Lord expansion. Oftentimes you can't prevent it, but you can make it expensive. You can force cancels, you can kill ghouls, you can get an experience, you can maybe even force the Crypt Lord out of the fight. But Chaemiko is going none of that early pressure. He's going for a fast level 3, and then I guess wants to pressure with level 2 Water Elements, which of course are very good against ghouls. Excellent scouting though by 1-2-0. He's checking all the paths, looking for the AM to come in. If he had started the Merchant creep as he was intending to, it would have been really troublesome, but he saw the AM coming. Again, he's the Necromancer, he's the master of the scouting, and now in a defensive position outside his expansion to defend this push. But yeah, this is level 2 Water Elementals with a lot of mana with that big mana potion.
Okay, that's pretty damn good. That's a lot of summons here and a lot of damage coming from the claws as well. Easy to deal with the ghouls. 1-2-0's micro. Not 100% on point. Losing the first one. Losing the second one. Really good last hits by Chaemiko. And he's getting, almost the third one. There, 1-2-0. The Undead finds his rhythm and sends the ghoul back in time. I think it was just one footman killed, right? He keeps up the pressure and he's harassing in the main at the same time.
I think one is just trying to bait the AM into the slow tower. Yeah, he's doing it right now. Full mana on the Crypt Lord.
Super
Could have tried
rare.
to go for an Impale Surround numerous times, kind of. Oh, the ghoul still active in the main, multitasking. Ass of both players. What's certainly happening here is the Undead's tech is being severely delayed.
Yeah.
That opens up Chaemiko's opportunity in the tier 2 stage to perhaps go for a mortar team push or something like that.
Oh, Chaemiko killing another ghoul here and probably 2 more down there and 2 more in the base. 1-0, feeling a little sleepy. He's losing 1 ghoul after the next, and these 2 rogue footmen. So good, so effective, and that's another one. How many ghouls are falling this game?
Oh my god, it's so many going down. Not going for a narrow in the main, probably a little bit too greedy here by 1-2-0, but he's close to level 3. That's the big power spike for him. We have Rifleman coming.
Whoa, rifle
Against
casters.
which the Crypt Lord normally does super well because of his summons, because of Impale. But Jesus Christ, that's a lot of ghoul kills.
He arrived there at level 3, now he's almost level 4 just from some ghouls. There's another one falling. Oh, gotta be careful here though. Archmage, Impale, Surround, and that's a TP. Oh, Cloak, Reveal, that's a TP.
Ah, there it is. The crystal ball finding some value. That TP being gone could be problematic, by the way. An Impale Surround, always a danger. Crypt Lord continues creeping now, is level 3 already, and now we have the level 2 Beetles. They were the terrorizer of especially the European ladder for a long time. They were very strong. A little too strong, if we're being honest. They have been nerfed since then. HP has been reduced by, I think it was like 18% or something, and now they're a lot more manageable. But what is Chaemiko doing here now that he has tier 2 and the Mountain King? This is going to be his big strength. His second hero is going to become much stronger, much faster, and he's going to have tier 2 units. So he has 2 options right now. A, all-in push the enemy expansion, or B, counter-expand yourself.
Yeah, with all the losses early, I wouldn't mind to see a push towards the expansion, but there's towers coming up. Is there enough pressure from 1-0 to kick an expansion? We know that once you have a level 3 Crypt Lord, you get power spike after power spike. You get more and more units, you get more and more summons, better summons, and it's not a long way from level 3 to 4. We see it here right now. Chaemiko stopped him in his tracks, but now level 4 is kind of unpreventable. I'm not too sure what's the best way here. I think he lost too much, but oh, Zeppelin plays.
What is this? Since when do undeads go for Zeppelin harass?
Yeah, I thought
With
they're
the
afraid of height. Shredder is lots of damage, man.
Oh, the Zepplin's getting taken out by the rifles. No, he wasn't looking. Now he's dizzy. Oh my god, what a giant mistake by 1-0. Didn't he have a beetle there scouting for this? Wasn't he looking in the middle just a second ago? Oh, what a mistake.
I don't know, man. This is
going down.
There's no TP. There's a staff, but there's also a Stormbolt. There's no way out. And this game is an absolute disaster for 1-0. This was supposed to be his map. This was supposed to be the standard harass, but 1-0 not sticking to the standard. Chaemiko not sticking to the standard, and it turns out way better for the human. But we gotta be honest, sloppy play by 1-0 throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, for the early, I can forgive him. There was, I guess, the ghouls being dealt with pretty well by his opponent, but that was purely his own mistake. Ooh, trying to get out with a clap. He's gonna die again. Crypt Lord falls once more, can't staff out, and that might just be the game.
I think so too.
1-0 has basically nothing to put up against this rifle army now. The Shredder's gonna fall. If he had managed to reach the human base and pressure it with this run-by with the Zeppelin, it would have been really good. But you have to make sure you're not flying over 5 riflemen.
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame. That's the first game being gifted to Chaemiko.
Definitely, but Chaemiko with great execution as well. I haven't seen a flaw in Chaemiko's game at all. He's making weird but good decisions. Oh, massive impale and a good ghoul gang here. So far, only the footmen are suffering. Clap used against the ghouls as well. There's a lot of mana still. This could be another mass murder against the ghouls. Oh man, I would love to have a unit death count, especially on these ghouls. It must be in the 20s now.
Yeah, normally nowadays from Crypt Lord we see a fast transition into Fiends, like Tech and then second Crypt and Graveyard and then go into Mass Fiends because these ghouls can just be dealt with so easily. We see it here time and time again with the claps, with the rifles. That's it, GG. Strong game by Chaemiko, the Crypt Lord. His might can be matched on map 1, but that was kind of 1-0's own fault.
I definitely agree. Was losing maps to Suck not too long ago as well. So not the untamable beast against human anymore. I really hope he turns it up a little in game 2. He needs it. He definitely needs it if he wants to compete with Chaemiko here. Interesting game. Like so far off the standard.
Yeah. It feels like 1-0 wasn't quite as fresh with his Cryptlord practice. He was full mana for so long. When the AM first showed up at the expansion, when you're full mana, just try to go for the Impulse round. If you land it, then boom, you force the TP right away. You have so much space. If you don't, whatever. It was your full mana pool anyways. In the main, no narrow tower got really costly. Sometimes a little slow with the ghoul movement. Yeah, absolutely not the best game for 1-2-0. Perhaps still needs to warm up a little bit, needs to get in its perfect shape, but it's okay. It's only map 1. The maps remaining are Last Refuge and Amazonia. AZ will definitely not be a Cryptlord. LR, it is possible to pull it off, but I would say quite a bit harder than Northern Isles because the human will have a Mercamp there.
Maybe you should be a little more careful with these statements. It's 1-2-0 in the end, so he just does whatever he feels like in the moment. Maybe it is a Cryptlord on AZ and he found a way to make it work. With him, we really never know. But of course, in general, you're absolutely correct. So, interesting where this will be going to. Chaemiko, will he stick to the 1 base? Or will he go for expansions now that it's more common? I don't know where this series goes now. Match points for Chaemiko, and this could result in a very interesting group situation in the end. 1-2-0 has defeated Moon. Chaemiko could defeat 1-2-0. Moon could defeat Chaemiko. And then the odd one out is, I guess, Linguagua. But we could have a 3-way tie if this trend continues.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not too unlikely, I would say. And then it's going to be up to the map score to decide this. And this is where the full best of 3 will be so important to, be fully played out. And if you should manage to get a 3-0, that would go a really long way for that map score. Chaemiko has a chance here of a 3-0. That would be quite the surprise. We started off with only 2 1s. Then we started seeing some 3-0s. It was TH looking really strong. And Fly especially against Lawlion. Dude, how sick was that game by him? And also Colorful outmatching Michael in our previous days. When they played the last time, Chaemiko and 1-2-0, or their second last time, I should say, it was a lot of different first heroes by 1-2-0. It was Cryptlord, DK, I think, and Lich. Also Lich. Lich first on AZ with ghouls has a lot of potential if the human is certainly going to be going fast expansion. Nobody really plays that anymore, but 1-2-0 sometimes might. That is definitely one of the strengths of 1-2-0. Unlike many other undeads out there, for example, Happy, who's very predictable. 1-2-0 is not. He's got many different strategies. Sometimes he pulls them out just for fun, and sometimes he pulls them out because it's a really good strategy. I think he has a good chance of winning. And even if that Cryptlord failed horribly in the end, if he plays that game a little bit better, I think he would have had a decent shot to actually win that game. So now it's time to regroup, refresh, and 1-2-0 with all his experience, I think he should know, okay, I just messed up that game number 1. It's all fine. I can still bounce back.
Indeed. Why is there no love for the Dreadlord, man? You pointed it out. DK, Cryptlord, Lich. We've seen Dreadlords before, so it definitely is an option as well. Not the ultimately most successful option that is in the arsenal, but 1-2-0 is definitely capable of playing all 4 undead heroes as a start. And Chaemiko, he loves the Mountain King. And I wouldn't be too surprised, LR, to see an MK here from him. It's not standard, but with Chaemiko, it's possible.
Yeah, if an MK gets off to a good start, finds maybe some mana items, a quick level 4, perhaps, it can be really good. But against these top undeads who never have their fiends out of position, who always are at max range, who are always kiting you to the end of days, who get statues quickly, oftentimes delayed tier 3 against the Mountain King. Once the undead is in the mid-game, securely standing with 2 heroes, 2 statues, 4 fiends, fighting against that with only melee, which is what the MK has, is really, really tough. It can work, but against the top dogs, you usually have a difficult time. So I'm expecting AM standard here from the human, but you're right. Chaemiko also up now with the lead. It is not out of the question that he's going to be going for this. We go into map 2. Let's see what we get.
In the bottom left for China, former WGL champion. It's 1-2-0 in the upper right for Korea. It's Chaemiko. Yeah, can you turn this around now as 1-2-0? It's kind of like Chaemiko looking rock solid. I didn't see any big flaws there. He wasn't challenged too much, and if you start a series like this and you got the momentum on your side, this can easily spiral out of control. You get a little bit of confidence. Everything worked so far, so grab the ball and run with it, Chaemiko.
Standard play here by 1-2-0. The Tet Fiend build with DK, Fiends, and a fast tech. So the question is, what hero will Chaemiko present us? You know, for a while, not necessarily in this matchup, but against Orc certainly, he also played Pally first. He has been certainly experimental in the past, but against Undead, I think you should probably not try to do that outside of your ladder games. It is the Mountain King, Neo, as if you knew.
Yeah, go on. Just celebrating myself a little.
As if you do. Okay, that is a ballsy play by Chaemiko. It can work out. Ideally, you want to get the Merc Camp with a Mountain King. You want to have a bit of sustain. You want to have perhaps some Dispel from the Shadow Priest. You want to get the Merc Camp at some point and then really pressure hard with your level 3 strength and Footy's Mercs. But if the Acolyte Scout is on point, the Shadow Priest can be stolen, which is really painful. So this is what 1-2-0 is looking out for here. The Footy not scouting his main, but being around the Merc Camp, that is very suspicious. And 1-2-0 knows right away, what the hell? Why are you not scouting me?
Yeah. Okay, he will see that soon. DK is out, MK is out. Will this work the way Chaemiko intends it? He has games where the Mountain King looked super strong. He also had games where the Mountain King fell flat on his big nose. So, oh, 1-2-0 stole it. That's big.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. The Footy pulls out the creeps, and then you send in the Acolyte, and you steal the Shadow Priest. And what's the MK gonna do now? Kill the Shadow Priest with a Stormbolt, but he wants to use that against the creeps. The DK shows up. 2 peasants are dead already. And we see why this can be pretty rough for Mountain King.
Can he get the last with the DK? 1-2-0 is notoriously known for that. No, gets the Stormbolt, and this could be a surround right away. Opens it up. Not enough units anymore, and the slaughter of Peasant continues.
Ouch. 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 Owie. MK didn't even get level 2. This is pretty much a disaster. And 1-2-0 is expertly showing why against the top undeads, this MK strat, at least on this map, is risky to say the very least.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta take a risk, especially when the opponent is on paper better than you. At least 1-2-0-4 map 3 can't really, like, he doesn't really know what to expect. On the other side it's Amazonia, and then it absolutely should be an Archmage. Really cool for 1-2-0 that he has some healing now. Oh, replenishment potion. This is so awesome. How much regen this undead has. Finally level 2.
Pretty much at the same time as the Mountain King. That is really, really bad for Chaemiko. We see 2 Ziggurats coming up for 1-2-0 already. So he wants to probably get to 40 supply, delay the tier 3 tech. This seems like a smart idea. As I said earlier, you want to really stabilize in the mid game, get 2 heroes, 2 statues, 4 to 5 fiends, and then the MK dealing with that will be quite difficult. By the way, this Merc Camp still hasn't been cleared, so he can't go for the Berserker too easily. He wants to clear it now, and he will be able to. But Jesus Christ, how late is this expansion gonna be?
Well, is there a coil or is there a Stormbolt before? Both playing around it. There's the Stormbolt. Okay, clears it. And the DK gets around it, forcing a TP, hoping for a TP. And there it is. Finally some time to breathe for the Korean. Militia survives. Shadow Priest, not the biggest damage roll right there. And finally some mercs for Chaemiko.
Okay, that TP being forced may give him the notion now that he can go for the expansion right after. 1-2-0 could try to be aggressive against that, but instead is going to be going for a bit of creeping himself. With a Sacrificial Skull! Inspired by Michael, perhaps. But it's only the TP gone. He's probably not going to need it again, I would assume, because Lip's going to come out soon with Frost Armor, should be good enough for the protection. And 1-2-0 is waiting for more and more Fiends to come out. And 1-2-0 knows, yes, this MK is going to be level 3 now, which is kind of dangerous. But this expansion for the human is certainly tremendous.
Yeah, and this item, man, Scroll of the Beast, played with Fiends, this is so much extra damage. which you kind of want when you want to tear down towers. Chaemiko does have the resource for the expansion now, but he starts building it at 5 minutes 25. It's so late. Lich is coming, and as you said, this is gonna be a lot of damage.
Opening here now, though, as one fiend is ensnared, perhaps there's a window to kill off one of these fiends with a surround. MK coming in with the footies, and there's a Stormbolt. Level 1 Stormbolt, by the way. Level 2 Clap.
Okay. Good timing by Chaemiko, I feel. The last couple of seconds where he could really make use of the strength of the Mountain King and the Footman before the Lich is there. So, good snipe.
Getting that one fiend is good, but he loses 2 Footmen for it, which matters. And also, use 2 spells for it. And the Mountain King's mana pool is very limited. You have to be careful with that. Lich goes Nova first, though. Interesting.
Damage! We like that.
What about the damage, I guess? Okay. DK level 3 at a pretty good time. And the Mountain King, he needs to get a shop up. He needs to get a shop at his expansion and make sure he can always supply himself with clarities.
One scary thing for the undead would be some run-bys of human with footmen into the base at this stage of the game to pull him back, to force him to do something in his own base. But with that limited force here, and especially with a Mountain King and not with an Archmage, this seems absolutely impossible. So 1-0 choosing a more aggressive approach and finds the creep jack right away.
He didn't scout this, by the way. This was just a read. That is the crazy game sense by 1-2-0. Being like, okay, he's falling back now. He's creeping something. What's he going for? Must be this. Perfect timing. Gets the last hit. Suddenly Lich almost level 2.
Oh my god, and he gets so many footmen as well. And the town portal. This creep spot. Absolute disaster for Chaemiko. And now what? Yeah, you have to clarity up. All you have is 2 mercenaries. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm tempted to say GG next.
Yeah, the Fiend Force quite scary here, and with the statues coming in, that's going to be more and more staying power as well. Chaemiko needs militia, from the main to push back this force. Needs a lot of mercenaries. Also, we have daytime now, so you can go for Mud Golem and Mauler, but he thinks this is all not going to work out. Calls for the GG, and I don't blame him. This was a rough game from start to finish. The one highlight, the Fiend kill, but that wasn't enough. Mountain King doesn't work out this time.
No, this game went sideways at like the 2-minute 30 mark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's WCG. You really want to try your best, especially in this group when it could be like one map deciding it all in the end. So you can always get a Stormbolt surround somewhere, force a TP, and then do it again, and then come back somehow. But if that game would have been in a cup, the game is over after 3 minutes.
Alright, that gets us to a 1-1. I guess we can't complain, right? A nice and close series here, and we're gonna have our decision on Amazonia. I talked about it earlier. That map is normally set in stone for most players, but with 1-0 in the mix, we might be in for a treat. Fast expansion is what we certainly should be expecting from the human with an AM, and 1-0 has shown in the past that Lich first aggressive play with ghouls can be a threat on this map. However, he revealed it recently to Chaemiko, so this will be very fresh in the mind of the Korean. So for that reason, perhaps not the smartest idea to pull out today.
Okay, we'll see what this is. It could be the first standard game, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see Chaemiko trying his one base again. We've seen that from Sok in the past as well, right? So I'm pretty sure they practiced a bit with each other. Exchanged ideas maybe, timings, creep routes. This can be doable. Like, 2 base is always so exposed and almost an invite to the undead to push you. He wants to prevent that.
Yeah. I think it's mostly the question, though, about how are you going to be in the strongest position in the late game. And in the past, we did see human 1-base rifle with inner fire looking pretty well. In the not-so-distant past, also Blade in Europe pulled it off quite impressively, but it's played so rarely nowadays, which comes as an upside in itself as well, as most undeads aren't so well prepared for it anymore. But it seems like almost all of the pro circuit has discarded this strategy as not so strong against undead anymore. Almost everyone is playing fast expansion if they are going up against DK standard. If you're going up against Cryptlord, then everything changes, of course. But if you're going up against standard, almost everyone goes for a fast expo. The MK already a bit of a surprise. Chaemiko, what else could he show us? I mean, he has
Pally
done some
rifles.
Pally rifles. Oh, dude.
Oh, dude.
That I would
Neo
actually
again
love,
with a good idea. What's up with him today?
I would love to see this. Would love to see this. Shown in the past in Europe over the last couple of years, really, that it can be strong in the right hands. And that, I think, definitely 120 would not expect. But I'm not sure if I've ever seen it from an Asian pro.
Chaemiko played some Pally openings. It's been some time. Did he play it with rifles? I'm not even sure. But if there's one Asian human who could go for Pally rifles, I'd bet my money on Chaemiko. But it's still not very likely.
He's got the micro to pull it off. He's got the blocks. He's got the brain as well. But this is a strat that is very different from all other human strats. It needs specific practice. Does he have that practice? Did he train this strategy ahead of this game in the last few weeks? I'm not sure. Or is he going to stick with his standard as well? It's not like Expo Knight's gyros can't work. He's really, really good with that style. Once he has the expansion established and tier 3, his defensive militia rushes, for example, or militia defense floods, I should say, are really, really good when all the army comes in together at the perfect time. He even played Expo into double Rex rifles in the past, although 120 seemed to find the answer against that with a Naga. Very, very interested to see what these two show us now strategically.
Yeah, you mentioned before Chaemiko and his micro. Probably one of the best early game micro of all the humans in the world. Blocks surround. And maybe you want to stick with Footman if you're that good with them. Maybe catch a fiend here and there. Maybe slow down the undead with that, with maneuvers like that. Curious what's going to happen.
Yeah, and that you can also do with the fast expansion. The undead will be coming in, trying to slaughter some peasants, and Chaemiko is an absolute expert at intercepting those fiends on their way to the peasants and getting like a 4 or 5 footies around while the fiend is moving in the different direction with the aura. Really hard to pull off, but Chaemiko is, yeah, one of the best, if not the best, in the world at utilizing the footman in such a way.
WCG,
I'm really hoping for that Lich first, dude.
Yeah. WCG will be here for a couple of weeks, every Monday to Wednesday. Warcraft 3 action at noon, high noon pretty much. Solo competition, team competition, we got it all here at the World Cyber Games 2020 Connected. And what we got is match number 3. Who will claim first position in Group A? 120 versus Chaemiko, the deciding match 3 on Amazonia.
Looking very intently at these builds. Could it be a ghoul build? Perhaps. Could it be a Lich? No. Lich first play. Unfortunately for me, I would have loved to see it, but probably also a danger to go for. If it's scouted, the human should probably just move away from the fast expansion and tech instead. And suddenly, Lich first ghoul is not so strong anymore. So far, so standard. It's not looking like Pally rifles either, I'm afraid.
Nah, looks like standard. But having one standard game in a best of 3, in a full set best of 3, is not too shabby. I'm looking forward to where this is going. Expansion harder to creep, but the humans found a way to pull out the rock golem and prevent the spells they cast. So this is a little easier than it was half a year ago, maybe a year ago. 120 can, of course, punish this. Amazonia, the smallest map in the pool. Base to base distance, or base to expansion distance, especially, very small.
Yeah, there's a lot of options to creep here, especially for undead. For human, it's mostly set in stone. It's yellow, green into Expo, that's level 3. And then expand, of course. For undead, you can go to the instant harass to kill off peasants right away. You can go to the trolls in the middle into harass. You can take the top left troll or the bottom right troll. And what I've seen from 120 in the past, which was looking cool, I'm not sure if it's very good, but it was looking cool, was a troll, the bottom right troll, into lightning shield creep, his own lab, and then he goes into the middle, creeps the kobold, and then he's level 3 right away, which can be very strong, especially with good items, but also leaves the human alone for a long time, which is normally not what you want to do, but it is something that 120 has played before. So that is all to say, 120 has a lot of different options here to play. Even if you see DK Fiends, you don't know exactly what's coming. You don't know what exactly he's creeping, when he's going to be harassing, when you have to be careful, especially with your peasants. And that's, I guess, the footman's job here, to check out what's going on, where the DK is going.
Yeah, not the easiest task for this footman, is it? Here's the lightning shield, doing the damage against the creeps only. Okay, speeding things up a little. In the past, this could have been turned into a disaster when you hurt your own militia. The legendary Infi game from Masters Colosseum is one example for that. 120 was involved there as well. But nowadays, it's time to creep this up. 120 is going for the trolls. And now what?
He only crept the big troll. He pulled out the small trolls with the Acolyte from behind the forest, so he couldn't creep them. So he creeps the big troll only, then falls back to the main to lightning shield creep the renegade. Okay. I haven't seen this exact creep route before. Interesting.
It feels like a lot of wasted time when you're running across the map back and forth.
He's gonna get 2 items and a fairly fast level 2. Wait, is Chaemiko not expanding?
No. He pulled out the creeps. But then, I don't know.
Okay.
Fell asleep at the wheel or something?
Now.
Here we go.
Seems a little bit late, but not by too much. So 120 is now level 2. Now moving across the map. There's still a corpse there from the trapper, from the troll that he can use, which is pretty cool. He's going there now.
Okay. So far, most of the spot has been cleared. Not much to coil anymore. All of the experience to the Archmage so far, but this is dangerous. Lots of skeletons and more corpses will be created soon, but it is level 3 for the Archmage. Big mana potion and the claw. This is the nuts for Chaemiko. So how many peasants will he lose? First Fiend comes in as well.
One peasant died at the expansion, another one on the way back, so that's 2 peasants dead so far. That is all still fine, but as we've learned, when the peasants are constructing the town hall, they are oftentimes most vulnerable. And this 120 may still try to exploit. Mana on the DK was still looking okay, health all around, all right. And this might be the crux now of this map 3. How well can these peasants be protected while setting up the expansion? This is something that Undead can punish very hard, this vulnerability of the peasants with especially skeletons and DK, coil, and fiends. Seems like we're ready again after a small break. Perhaps the cat hopped onto the keyboard, but we should be good to go now.
I think so.
Maybe not.
Back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, the legendary 120 cat, a lucky charm for him. But we've also seen the cat being thrown through the room in stressful moments. But yeah, cool meme from China there. But we'll know in a second. The Korean casters seem to be a little confused as well, but of course we give them that time to fix everything. Yeah, this is not the worst opening for a human I've ever seen on AZ. Still a lot of potential for 120, as you said, to cause damage here. There's several power spikes throughout the entirety of the game, I guess. The first skeleton harass, then the arrival of the first fiend, then the arrival of the lich, then the arrival of the statue, then tier 3 with destroyers and orb, of course. And the human is always the one trying to catch up.
Still thinking about that creep route. You're right, it did seem a little inefficient going out to the troll, then going back to the renegade, then going out into the middle of the map again. Perhaps you could try to creep that differently with like a ghoul lightning shield creep at the beginning, but when you do that, you always delay your tech to tier 2, which is something you don't really want to do because you want to get to lich statues as fast as you can, and there's normally a way you can come back or equalize, I should say, against an expanding human, as you are attacking so fast that even him having way more resources can oftentimes be made up for. But in general, I feel like if this is absolute standard what we're seeing right now. DK Fiends against fast expansion AM. This can oftentimes be summed up, the early game, how good or bad it went, with how many peasants died. Of course, if some fiends should fall, then that also goes into the counter and a lot of footmen. But that normally never happens with these top players. So oftentimes it is about these peasant losses. At the moment we're at 2, which is fine for the human. 3 is kind of normal. 4 hurts. 5 is bad. 6 is really horrible. So this is where we have to keep an eye on, because it's also going to be important here for Chaemiko to hit his tech timings. His macro is really important. He can't forget to make footmen, peasants, towers, expo. A lot of things to manage for the human, who has to keep an eye on many different things, whereas the undead can be much more focused in his goals, in his targets on the map. He's staring at his DK pretty much 24/7, and then he needs to make sure he's attacking the right units at all times with fiends and skeletons. So it's very macro-centric from the human side versus very execution-centric on the undead side. And now we are ready to continue this finally. Well, the DK was lower HP than I thought he was, so it's not that easy to commit to the peasants here. The Lich is still a little ways off. And yeah, as we said, the peasant death count so far looking fine. AM even is feeling confident enough to get out to the shop, buy the boots, still come home in time to defend because the footies are blocking the way for the DK. And I like this so far for Chaemiko.
A player's forces
I agree. In the past, we've seen 1-0 switching gears from time to time when they see, okay, the expansion is too heavily defended and the base is exposed. He's one of these undead players who's not stubbornly trying to break the expo, but sometimes, you know, put the pressure on the main, which seems a little counterintuitive as the main should be heavier protected than the expo. But he figures out these weaknesses in human builds. Fiend thrown back. Oh, boots on the Archmage. More damage potential here. Ooh, so close. And he gets the Fiend kill. Wow.
Forces are under attack.
Yeah, that's a really big deal. Something that's not expected to happen normally, but it's the boots. It's him finding the timing window, being, okay, the DK is low HP right now. I have about 5 seconds of freedom to go over to the shop and buy those boots, and that gets him the kill. That's a really big deal.
I feel like we could see an upset here. It smells like it. Yesterday we had the Fly 3-0ing Lawlight upset. And today, Chaemiko beating 1-0 would be big. And this block, wonderful. And this is exactly what we talked about before.
Beautiful game by Chaemiko. Just wonderful, really. And 1-0 is feeling, okay, the pressure's on me. Chaemiko's playing this really well. This is not an easy early game for me by any means. But the game is not over by any means either. In fact, if it's a lead for Chaemiko, then it's only very slight one. Because no matter how good your early game goes, no matter how low the DK gets, how many coils he wastes, how many fiends oftentimes even die, the undead will get to tier 3. Will get to 2 statues, triple hero, destroyer, and like 4 or 5 fiends. And that is always a super strong time point. Yeah, if you have a better early game, then you're going to be in a better position and stronger against it, but the undead will still be strong. And 1-0 knows this. Even if this early game didn't go perfectly for him, even if his tech is delayed, and everything is slowed down a little, he will become strong, very strong, in around 3 minutes.
Okay, how much damage can Chaemiko do until then? Not too much, I guess. His lumber is a little low. Floating in gold right now. We probably started the tech, and that's why the lumber is so low. There we go. Lumber mill should be up, is up, and he's just straight up fighting here, only with footmen, and this is oftentimes key to victory. Keep the undead busy and keep the undead away from your bases. Let the peasants do the job and get a... Oh, Nova kill, okay. And get the economical advantage, but the Fiend again threatens his surrounds. Only coil level 1. Can he reach that? Defense is ready, so the footman a little slow. Water Elemental and Archmage have to do the job, but this time 1-0 keeps his range unit safe. But what about this one? Man, scary fight for 1-0. But good reactions as well.
Yeah, saves everything here so far. Good play by Chaemiko as well. We're seeing this more and more from these top humans. The AM and the Water Elemental are putting in the damage, poking the undead. The footies are staying away. With the block, he almost gets a kill here.
Ready for the coil once again.
Yeah, you keep the footies out of firing range, and when the undead commits to something, either to creeping or to attacking your expansion, then you go in with the footies. Really, really amazing how these top humans have been developing this, perfecting this recently. But now we're starting to get to that scary undead stage. We have 2 statues, 2 heroes, 4 fiends, and now it starts getting scary for the humans.
But we also have 0 coils, and that might be a little tempting for Chaemiko. Archmage still has the boots. The block from 1-0 is pretty good as well, so he keeps the 3rd fiend safe as well. But there is so much damage done. I don't think 1-0 can think about pressuring anytime soon with... Like, he needs mana. Otherwise, he's going to lose 2 fiends.
Yeah, he's got 1 coil only. Which one's he going to save? One should be going down. All right, coil is thrown over there. AM should be focusing the other fiend, I guess. Oh, wow. Can 1-0 actually keep them all safe? That would be crazy.
Ghouls are helping out.
Very close to 2 fiend kills. They're trapped.
There's the first one. They can't go out. And the statue might be dying as well. Oh, no. 9 supply just vanishing.
Wow. AM.
Wow, so fast with the town portal here as well. Excellent game by Chaemiko, realizing mana is low, statues can't out-regenerate. You need more coils, but didn't work, man. Wonderful, wonderful damage done.
That is 3 fiends and a statue killed in pretty much the early
A
game or
player's
mid game, I
forces are
suppose.
under
Yeah, he
That
only
is
had...
insane.
That was even without the Mountain King. He killed 2 fiends and a statue without a single Stormbolt.
It started with the boots on the AM. Guys, buy boots. They're amazing.
Seriously,
And-
right?
And
How good?
And insane footman usage. The boots, they're easy, you know, to replicate. But that footy usage, wow, that was absolutely amazing.
A town
The
is under
annoyance
siege.
continues. Is there a town? Yeah, there's still a town portal. Castle tech on the way. Workshop as well to get out these gyros. What does he buy? Heal scroll as well. I think 1-0 has to react to this. And where does he attack? Really?
Yeah, you know, and if he had 3 more fiends and a statue, then he would be really dangerous right now.
Yeah.
But as he doesn't, he's really not.
A player's forces
1-0 knows
are
this
under
is
attack.
coming. The Zeppelin drop. He's got a DK in the back with the orb defending. There's a Narrow Tower or Spirit Tower also coming up.
Ouch.
But it's gonna take a little bit to deal with this human pressure. Maybe not too many archives will be going down, but it's certainly gonna be lost mining time.
And he's forcing a tower off of 1-2-0. And of course, Chaemiko can't afford these TPs. He's the 1-on-2 bases. Yes, he's investing a lot into potions, into heal scrolls, but it's absolutely fine if he stops 1-0 from killing his own pests.
AM level 4 is also a really feels good moment for that increased aura. Of course, he got a lot of experience earlier from kills. Did he get level 3 to 4 just purely from kills?
I think
That
so,
is
yeah.
Crazy.
Didn't creep much.
1-0 in a world of trouble. Look at Chaemiko's bank, man. Would love to see a second barrack. Slap that thing down. Go mass knights, gyros, hallelujah. The pally is out before the expansion
A
ever got
town is under
pressured.
siege.
This is the perfect human game.
The pally is out before 1-0 goes for a third hero. There's no Pit Lord. There's no Dark Ranger. There's the Pit Lord now. But with that, you have to pressure and you have to kill stuff. I don't think he has the time. His Echo at home's getting wrecked.
Yeah. Chaemiko also has the TP. He brought that to 3 knights.
Yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
okay.
Just casually queuing 3 knights.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright, so now it's time to turtle, hold on, repair, survive. No mining in the main, but I mean, he's got 3 knights queued already. He can afford to lose a little bit of mining.
Absolutely fascinating with this game. We don't have a destroyer just yet. He has the upgrade, right? Must have. But he's so broke. He's so broke. Trying to enter the main now. The AoE spells are doing their job. 1 tower is gone, but knights are starting to come in. The gyro is absolutely useless, but kind of prevent the first destroyer. And the fiend goes down.
With the Holy Light landing, but the MK might also fall. Heal potion transfer, last second. Holy Light after. It's still a lot of damage though. This MK might be going down. He will with the coil. But we have a few knights now in here as well. 1-0 use a lot of his mana. Another fiend falls. This AM with the right clicks and a surround. Okay, Chaemiko, could you calm down for a second? The lightning shield returned though. Perhaps this surround is backfiring on him. Nice heal scroll as well. Lich still in trouble. Holy Light TP transfer. Lich just barely saved. Everything else will survive and get away. The gyros had nothing to do here. There were no destroyers, but the knights took over against the fiends, and now we have a big supply lead. Chaemiko is once again fully mining, and this MK will be back very soon, as he was only level 1.
Exactly. There was so much
A player's
thrown
forces are
onto this
under
Mountain
attack.
King, only level 1. It's of course cool to stop his progress, but is it worth all that focus fire for a level 1 hero? I'm not too sure. And he had 20 supply lead now. DK close to 4, Lich 3, alright, but the big level ups are far away. Maybe he has one more push in him. Scroll of the Beast, another lightning shield. Maybe he can do something with that, but we do have breakers to steal the roar. I'm not too sure if 1-0 can come back into this game. He needs the craziest micro that he was known for
Players' forces are
in
under
like
attack.
2017-16, but seems like the micro at the moment is on Chaemiko's side.
Yeah, I'm so impressed with Chaemiko. Just absolutely amazing game. The only downside here for Chaemiko is he's far down in level, so that is the next thing he needs to address. Make sure this MK and Pally are creeping, getting the levels. Exactly what he's doing. In the bottom right now, taking the camp there, getting a big item, Sobi Mask. That's not too shabby. Red camp would be amazing for him, but not that easy to creep with only Knights and Breakers. Gyros can't really help out there. 1-0. If he can win this game, it's with superior heroes. He does have them. He's pushing now towards the Human Expo, but looking at that supply count is quite daunting.
Yep. Of course, you can't really afford to break upkeep if you're up against 2 bases, but Chaemiko almost maxed out at 80 here. And the heroes, yeah, they're getting there though. What a big power spike this will be for the human if he reaches 3-3. Destroyers against this massive Gyros, absolutely no option. And the Knights are finding the connection to the Fiends. You can cast all the Frost Armor you want. This seems to be too much. But yeah, heroes have to carry. So far 1-0, losing that Fiend, or will soon lose that Fiend. And again, hero focus on the Lich. Holy Light just gone! That must be it. The big damage dealer is gone. A big supporter is gone. All in that one hero. And it's time for Chaemiko to clean this up now.
Yeah, no more Frost Armor means these Fiends will die super fast. Once again, the coil was too late. 1-0 perhaps a little slow to die with the coils. Maybe it was the cooldown. I'm not certain. And Chaemiko is getting further and further ahead. DK running out of mana here quite quickly. Has, I believe, only one coil left. Has to go for the Lich on it. Has the invul still available. Can he survive this time? Barely he does. But now there's no coils left. And now the damage will really be starting to stack up. Heroes for the human still alive. Amazing positioning on the Paladin, by the way. Kills Lich again. And that is it. GG. Chaemiko upsets 1-0.
Indeed, WCG, the tournament of upset it is. Who would have thought that this would be happening here? 2-1. We thought 1-0. He seems to be in great shape last week when he was up against Moon, but this Moon here, Chaemiko, was a little too strong for him. And that might force a tiebreaker, man, in this very group with Chaemiko on top, over 1-0 and over Moon now.
We didn't expect the group to look like this, did we?
Not really, no. I mean, 1-0 versus Moon is always a 50-50 affair, but it looked kind of one-sided to me last week. So I thought, okay, 1-0 will just go ahead and walk into the playoffs, but
yeah,
he's a little bit struggling now.
And for Chaemiko, it's looking suddenly good to get out of Group A. Not something I was expecting, but it's not secured. 1-0 and Moon could still go 2-1 both, same as him. But he has it in his own hands to certainly make it out of Group A. If in his last match he beats Moon.
Yeah, easy. Just beat Moon and go to the playoffs. That's the easiest task in all of Warcraft, ever has been. It's not easy, but this game wasn't easy either, and Chaemiko came in well prepared. Game 1 was really well done with the tech and curveball, played excellently against the Crypt Lord. And on game 3 as well, the early game, like what he can do with Archmage and Footman. This is something we usually only say about TH and Infi, but now we have to add Chaemiko to this list. Blocks, around, early game kills. 1-0 not in tip-top shape, but Chaemiko making use of that, getting the upset win, went with 2-0 on the top of Group A.
Yeah, very impressive. Chaemiko here showing how strong he can be. And it's gonna get a little scary here for 1-0 in Group A, but as we said, still a chance. That is our first game in the books for today. We're gonna have one more, of course, and that's gonna be Infi versus Soin. China versus Korea again as we move towards Group B.
The current reigning WCG champion. We'll see each other after a little break.
powerful innovation has arrived, with the speed to go beyond limitation and discover the unreal. Introducing the Samsung NVMe SSD 970 series, the key to unlocking your power, with the performance to reach beyond the expected, the capacity to illuminate a world of ideas, and the reliability to sustain it all. Samsung's latest NVMe M.2 SSD. Unreal performance realized.
넘어서는 정도의
이런 거.
아, 킬됐어요. 또 이거 좋은데요.
네. 지금 레벨을 2레벨을 벌써 찍었어야 되는.
오!
이게 120이 오늘.
자, 그리고
컨디션-
이것까지 먹으면은
컨디션 극상인데요.
이걸 다 먹었어요.
먹었네요. 먹었어요.
지났네요. 그래도.
그래도 시간으로 봤을 땐 이제 슬슬 모여야 되는 타이밍 아닌가요? 이제 낮이 되어가고 있죠. 와, 아프다.
됐어.
우와, 아프다. 우와, 엄청 아파요. 보일로가 쓰면서 아쳐 잡으려고 노력을 해줍니다. 다시 한번 중딩 해골.
데스나이트 점사 준비.
네. 줄어드는 인구수의 나이트 헬프예요.
그렇습니다.
아직까지 디스코이어
뭐야?
많이 닿지
구원을
않았고요.
전사했어요.
네, 힘이 엄청 센데요. 디스 살았어요 아직. 잠깐만. 다시 한번 레벨업.
알테까지 전사.
이렇게
데스나이트
되면
노렸는데 데스나이트 완전히 실패했어요. GG.
유닛 또 뽑아야 되고 일단은 만화가 많이 없는 게 굉장히
자,
큰데요.
데스나이트 집
길
가세요.
막고 입구
가세요 하는
막고
거죠.
입구 막고 자 추가적으로 계속 PC 눌러주면서
만화가 더 있죠.
빠집니다.
만화가 더 있죠.
네.
자, 이러면 리치가 죽어요. 리치 죽었어요. 이거.
리치.
저는 죽었다고 봅니다. 저는 죽었다고
리치!
봅니다. 정확하게 죽었죠.
네. 자 지속적으로 일단은 일꾼들에게 피해를 주고 있는 그런 모습인데요. 오히려 잠겼어요. 갈 수 있는 곳 없이 잠겼어요.
이거 터졌는데요.
완전히 잠겼어요. 박준호 선수가.
포탈 타면 그냥 테크는 느린 거고
네.
지금 아까 박준호 선수가 배럭을 워낙 늦게 졌잖아요.
포탈 탑니다. 자 프레스 오브 파이어까지 귀찮게 만들어주고 있는 그런 상황이라고 보시면 될 것 같고요.
GG. 이거 GG 나올 수밖에 없죠. 이거 인기가.
GG를 선언합니다. 일단 파고드는 그 위치가 좀 필요할 것 같은데 사이펀 만화가 쿨타임이 상황에서
지금 싸움 오크가 이기.
위치가 너무 좋았습니다.
다 들어갔죠 사실상.
그리고 스피릿
자, 라이플맨부터 일단은 무조건 잡아주겠다.
설마 이거 막
근데 또 베니시 들어갔고요. 베니시를 한 마리 찼어요.
그리고 나서 블러드 베이지 보세요. 만화보세요 블러드 베이지.
아니 그렇게 도전을 오래 했는데도 불구하고 아직까지 300이 넘는 거죠.
만화가 진짜 이게 마르지 않는 샘물이에요. 자, 무기 품에 무기 붙여놓은 거 맞죠? 네, 그리고 안쪽으로 계속 파시어 멀리 봐야 돼요. 파시어 이름값
팬더
썼나요?
오, 팬더 임종까지 있네요.
썼나요?
팬더 전사 같습니다.
본진이네요. 본진이면 포탈이죠.
안 되겠다. 이건 안 되겠다.
야 이거 날아가면 나 진짜
강제 점사가 돼. 아크메이즈!
오 태웠어요.
거의
태웠어요.
좀 더 모아야 될 것 같은데.
네.
지금
여기서
리치
리치는 좀 세네요.
무조건 있어요.
리치는 좀 세네요. 그렇죠. 일단은 뽑아내는 거죠. 뽑아내요.
아크메이즈! 아메 전사!
디스트로이의 숫자가 지금 너무 많고요. 지상군이
팔라딘
전사.
팔라딘 전사 잠깐만.
데스나이트 레벨 5레벨 넘긴 상황. 리치도 5레벨 직전. 핀더드도 5레벨 직전입니다.
안 들어놓네요 그냥.
이제 들어갑니다. 이제 더 이상의 미래는 없다. 싸움만이 유일하게 내게 허락된 오요요요. 조금 셉니다. 네, 어쩔 수 없어요.
와 대박 대마포 사가지고 이걸로.
잠깐만요. 보고 쇼크웨이브
한 발밖에 안 남았어요. 근데
그래도 안 되겠죠.
네, 쇼크웨이브 못
내
날려요.
내 만화. 그래도.
에이 설마 아니겠죠.
자
빨리 가야 돼요. 빨리 가야 돼요.
인비지입니다. 자 인비지예요. 쇼크웨이브.
쇼크웨이브 돌아요. 쇼크웨이브
이거 몰라요. 진짜 몰라요. 각봅니다.
자 위에서 가. 자
위에서 때리고 쇼크웨이브. 여기 고정 위치 넓은 데로 한번 잡아보자. 또 더 와. 들어와. 자 디토네이트 들어갑니다. 디토.
누가 지금 또 피할. 말도 안 되게 들어갔어요.
이 흠뻑 젖었어요. 요거는 장막비에 젖듯 흠뻑 젖어버렸습니다.
자 그냥 옆으로 갑니다.
디토가 될 것처럼 보이다.
피하는 쪽으로 가요.
더 이상 피할 곳조차도 보이지 않는 샤먼의 위치. 디토는 조금 버텨줘요.
컨트롤 때문에 디토를 지금 제대로 못 본 것 같고요.
이 정도면 어떻게 되나요? 일단 영웅한테 디토예요.
아키본드도 못 버티는데 이거 섀도우헌터 저걸로 버틸 수가 없죠.
일단 소가 올해는 버텨보는데 안 돼요. 디토네이트.
자 디토를 조금 더 포탈.
이거는 주겠는데요.
잠깐만 2P
초대박.
이거 살렸네요. 자 그리고 위습이 괜찮아요. 근데 왕금 비토가 너무 잘 들어갔어요.
이렇게 되면 인탱글 묶이면서
집중전사.
여기 없는데요. 돈이 없기 때문에 추가적으로
파시오.
여기까지인가요?
파시오.
파시오.
전사하겠네요.
전사합니다. GG 받아내는 WCG.
A powerful innovation has arrived, with the speed to go beyond limitation and discover the unreal. Introducing the Samsung NVMe SSD 970 series, the key to unlocking your power, with the performance to reach beyond the expected, the capacity to illuminate a world of ideas, and the reliability to sustain it all. Samsung's latest NVMe M.2 SSD. Unreal performance realized.
World Cyber Games 2020 Connected continues with the second game of the second day of the second week. It's time for the current reigning champion, that is Infi. He's facing another Korean and Soin.
Soin last week lost to WCG in a close series there between Infi and Lin also. It was quite close. So yeah, both of these guys have to make up for last week's performance. Soin, of course, in a tough group when you face off against Lin and Infi. That is a pretty daunting task, and that is kind of reflected also in their stats. We have historically between them on War3 info 13-3 in matches. Infi there with an 81% win rate. Seems to be fairly one-sided. Soin has been able to get wins against Infi in the past, but was oftentimes in qualifier tournaments for WGL. So yeah, it's looking rough for the Orc here today.
All right, we'll see. He is kind of known now to be a little bit of the cheese orc, isn't he? We've seen him play TC Headhunters quite a bit, a thing that's kind of normal in 2-on-2, but in 1-on-1, you rarely see that. We don't have to introduce Infi to many players here, I guess. WGL champion, WCG champion, and Soin. First WCG appearance ever, no big title here. Here are our maps. We got Concealed Hill, Last Refuge, and Northern Isles.
Pretty standard bans here. Soin removing Echo is, I guess, the most interesting one. This is the top humans. Fast expanding on Echo Isles recently, and that seems to be working out well for them. Soin takes it out of the pool. Infi removes Amazonia. And of course, Twisted, as always. So I'd say pretty standard picks here. Concealed, LR, Northern. The maps we see a whole bunch. Pretty well balanced. And yeah, what are we going to be seeing here? You think Soin has to rely on his sneaky strats, on his special plays? Do you think he has to move away from the standard?
I would think that's his best shot. Try to surprise Infi if you play standard. The thing about Infi is he knows all the races inside out, right? He's probably the best random player in all of Warcraft. So he knows his own race. He knows the Orc race. He might only be matched by one of the gods, like Moon on a very good day, Lin, like last week, on a very good day, Happy might be up there as well. And Soin, definitely a good player, definitely a good tier 2 player, but Infi is a different beast, so we'll see. I would love to see some curveballs thrown here. I would love to see some cheesy strats. Maybe Firelord tower pushes with catapults or something. I wouldn't play standard against Infi.
Can you play a TC first? I would love to see it. We'll find out here now. Our first map, Concealed Hill. Infi in the red, in the bottom left, against Soin, the underdog. In the top right, in the blue. Looking at the human base so far, looks like a normal build. No barracks first. No Firelord, my friend, I'm afraid.
Oh, not yet, at least. The thing about this matchup is it all revolves around heroes, and especially second heroes. Is the Mountain King the stronger one? Is the TC the stronger one? So if you play TC first, you could have an edge with that stomp over the clap if you find the way to creep him up. But Infi, in this matchup, dude. Is he the strongest in the world? I'm not too sure. It's always between him and TH, but he definitely has his very own style, and he has a style that could absolutely negate the effect of a TEC. With lots of breakers, build a wall, the TC can't pass, loses mana when he's attacked, and what to stomp then? That's the big question. How do you play around Infi's godlike breaker micro? It's a Farseer.
Farseer with seemingly a super fast tech. There was only 4 peons on gold for a long time, peons early on lumber. So yeah, this is going to be a crazy fast tech here for Soin, going for the fast tier 2 and second hero and shaman and so on. Yeah, Infi's breaker style was quite revolutionary when we saw it at WGL for the first time. No Sorks at all, just 3 priests into mass breakers. And when you have a high amount of them, say 7, 8, 9, then Orc has a really tough time dealing with that. But most recently, it was Lin showing that that style can also be beaten with expansion and tier 2 big armies, heal scrolls, wind riders thrown in. But of course, replicating what Lin does isn't easy. As we see Soin going for a tech into another burrow, but there's gonna be a barracks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just put it down. So whoever loses this match is probably out of WCG in this group with Lin on top, with Joshishi winning over Soin on play day 1. If you go 0-2, that might just be it. Can you advance with 1-2? There might be some weird scenarios where this is possible, but it's looking really, really grim for whoever loses this full best of 3.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to make sure you get this win here today to have a realistic chance to make it through.
A player's
Infi doing here what we've been seeing humans do more and more recently. Just ignore the threat of wolves in the main and just move out on the map, threaten the AM creeping. And then the Orc has to decide, well, do I leave him alone? Do I follow him? Do I want to go for the peasants or do I prevent him creeping? And we have seen this this pressure play, the wolves into the main, backfire quite hard before, because if the Farseer isn't following the AM, then he will get level 3. And what level 2 water elementals early on can still be very dangerous. And with that, Infi is keeping his main safe. His tech seems to be timed decently well as well. Orc is, of course, faster and is going for a War Mill.
Yeah, pretty early War Mill here. There was the shop to get some heal salves, clarities, speed scrolls especially. Pretty tame early game between the two, right? There's no big skirmishes. This might just be the first one. Infi not even level 2 here. So in last hit. Got it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Got the little guy. The level 1 Murloc. Infi needs one more for the level 2 and gets it here. Very hard to land these last hits perfectly. The damage of the Farseer really isn't that high. Around 25. Ooh, no, he didn't get that one. So Infi seems to be getting the rest of the camp. Yeah. But at least he's not level 3. And that is the #1 goal here for Orc early. Prevent level 3 for the AM.
Can Infi still go for base distraction push? Or does he feel he's too weak at the moment? Another boots of speed on an Archmage. We've seen that before in a different matchup. And no, Infi is not going for the base. Not trying to kill any tier 2 buildings. But just continues creeping and trying to steal experience from Soin side of the map.
With the 2 grunts here now, Soin can put on quite a bit of damage himself. Engaging into this camp looks a little ambitious to me. Big last hit once again. Oh, there was a window there for the Farseer to get, but it goes to the AM. Goes to Infi. But with some footies being slowed down here and the grunts being around, maybe Soin could get some kills. He's putting a lot of damage on this AM, but I don't think it does much.
There's a lot of footies, by the way. 6 if I counted this correctly. Gotta be careful, not get surrounded here. You don't have anything to get out. I mean, the TP, but you don't want to lose your TP that early. And now is it time for the run by. Footies go through the top, Archmage goes through the south. TC welcomes them with open arms, though. This is a stomp first, no aura.
Doesn't want to commit into the back of the base. Without level 2 water elementals, this push wouldn't be too strong to begin with. And since burrows, are a thing, then footies can start dying pretty quickly. I think Infi's goal here is to threaten a push, but not actually do it, and keep Soin busy until the MK comes out. When the MK comes out with Stonebolt, then Infi suddenly becomes quite dangerous on the map.
True. We see the double Sanctum at the bottom for Infi. Wow, it's also stealing the turtle. There's not much left for Soin, to be honest, to creep on his side of the map. So once again, no rifle. And probably Priest and Breakers once again. No Sorks. It will be the typical Infi build.
One peon for level 3. Needs to save it into the burrow. And he
Yes,
does. Very, very important.
Still no level 3. Yeah, that would have been it. Good move by Soin so far. He's pretty competitive, I gotta say. 6 minutes into this game.
You do want to solo level this TC though. Does he have the option to do that? Oh, the special Infi creep route. He's going to pull out the Ogre Lord in the middle with Militia. Is going to snipe that item then quickly. That's going to give him a level up on the AM, a big item. And possibly even an expansion on the high ground, although that would be quite bold.
A player
Yeah,
is
pretty impossible to snipe this for Soin without Chain Lightning against the Stormbolt. You do want to creep your TC, so he just lets it slip. Is he aware of this? He definitely should. Wow, that's an early Kodo. Did he even build a Spirit Lodge, by the way?
Yes. I
Okay.
think he has 2 Shaman now. MK finds the Medallion, which is pretty good for him, but it's not quite a big aura. But not a bad item, certainly. Lin, by the way, he tried to play aggressively against this creep route. Infi has done it now a lot of times, so it is pretty much revealed. And there's not much you can do about this, because at best you have a level 2 Farsi and a level 1 TC coming in there against Militia. There's really not so much you can do, so it seems like you kind of have to let this slide, what the human does here, that creep route. But of course, the Orc can greedily creep up in the meantime himself. And I wonder, isn't this Farseer soaking up too much experience, though? TC is still far away from 3.
I mean, the wolves will fall off big time, right? Soon. So this must mean he really wants the level 2 Chain Lightning to use it against the casters.
Yeah, okay, I guess. But I would prefer to see a faster level 3 TC, level 4
The
maybe.
player's forces
You got the
are
pendant
under
as well, which is nice, but he can still get to that desired level up, of course. There's still a couple of creeps left on the map. Creeping the fountain is very tough for the Orc, but stealing the enemy lab away might be quite juicy. It's the MK now, solo creeping the natural. Level 2 aura for the AM, by the way. And Infi is counter-expanding here.
There should be enough time, right? TC's still focusing on himself. Ring of Protection +4. Not even... leaves it on the ground. Is that a protest against the ring? Or just a little mistake by Infi? Oh, what Elemental Archmage timing. This will work. The wolves can't prevent this.
Great play. With a Tele Staff. Infi, one of the absolute masters at dealing with this. That Ring of Protection, dude. I mean, it's not the dream item, but it's definitely one you want to pick up. Now it's going to land on the TC, make him quite a bit more tanky. Oh, but here comes the Creepjack. Infi, the Stomp could hurt him. Only hits the Mountain King, though, there. Not too bad, I guess. Militia will be called into the mix. One footy goes down, but the footies, they don't matter so much anymore at this stage in the game.
Footman lives don't matter? Remo, don't say that. All lives matter. Oh, no, we shouldn't say that. But Footman can still be used, of course. You don't want to lose them too early. But you kind of want to rotate them out for breakers anyway. So yeah, these losses, not the biggest deal. 3 Kodos, though, super early.
I think Soin's trying to get off the Devours and then probably TP out. He got 1 Devour off so far. The next clap wasn't that amazing. Lightning Shield on the TC. No dispel against it, seemingly. Oh, no, there it is now. Okay.
Stays in that fight. I thought the same. Like, don't you want to devour and get out super early? Apparently not. This seems a little chaotic. Infi blocking pretty much everywhere with Militia, and now he's forced into the town portal. Kodos.
At least 2 Devours, maybe even 3.
Shaman dying, though.
1, 2, and 3. That's a priest, though. Okay. But still, 3 Devours. That's really good. And again, there's an expansion coming up top left. Infi is missing 8 of his supply right now in the Kodo stomachs.
He does have vision, though, so he knows exactly where Soin is. And he sees soon that there's a second expansion attempt. How far is Infi's expansion? He's starting it right now, I think. Maybe towers first. This game is way more competitive than I thought it would be.
Yeah, good to see. Soin playing a good game here, but usually with this orc strategy, you do want an expansion at some point, and the cancel earlier with a tele staff on the AM is absolutely crucial. MK keeps on creeping. He's going to be level 4 here. That's always a very nice level up for the Mountain King, but both spells, Stormbolt and Clap, become powerful. TC needs to catch up. He's still at level 3. He needs to make sure he gets there soon. At the red camp, he will be able to, but his army isn't that strong. It's going to take a while to finish this red camp.
Yeah, that's the good thing about Infi's early game, right? He stole so much experience from Soin side of the map that he can roam freely on the right-hand side, while Soin is kind of forced to take one of these big spots. And you said it, there's not much damage, especially not against air, in Soin's army. So Infi, these are crucial moments for him, leveling up the heroes and powering up to an even stronger army.
AM again scouting around. Ooh, this is a dangerous mission, dude. One speed scroll, purge, stomp, and that's instantly a TP forced. But he holds on to that TP so well here, Infi does, with his excellent game sense and movement across the map. That's, I think, mainly how he won WGL, moving across the map perfectly. I was so impressed with that. AM again, showing up at the expansion. He knows now where the Orc army is, thanks to the Illusion Scout. That Illusion Scout also kept his main army safe to retreat in time. Wonderful plays here by Infi in the mid game.
He's spending so much time on this illusion and so much damage. And the Archmage, the staffing out. No end snare against that. At the moment, he wasn't in time. The TC, by the way, got a Pendant of Energy and a Belt of Giant Strength. So super tanky and lots of mana. Level 2 Stomp unlocked now. Also level 2 Chain Lightning. Smart by Soin. Wolves can be controlled by the Breakers, can also be dispelled by the Priests, and are kind of easy to deal with Water Elementals. So focusing on level 2 Chain Lightning is right. The thing is, will this be Farsight 4 again? Lin showed us!
Yeah, would be quite cool. I feel Soin should really start to go into Wind Riders. They can be very strong at this point in the game to pressure the Priest, and will force another transition out of Infi, where he doesn't quite have that many resources free to easily spend on, I don't know, stuff that he just desires. MK going in, coming in with the clap against the melee, but good splits here by Soin, not presenting it too easy of a target. Speed throw engagement, walking in. The Kodo gets off one Devour. He has 4 Kodo Beasts.
This reminds me of a game of Lingua vs 15 Sway where I think 20 units were eaten at the end of the game. Gets one Devour. That's nice. And that is Soin's response to Infi's Mass Breaker style. Just eat them.
Oh, the Shaman though, not protected here, not looking for a second. 1 going down, 2 going down. That clap certainly did a good job. Stormbolt on the TC, controlling him, damaging him. He's dropping low.
Damage is the issue, right? Kodos might be nice to get rid of 1 unit, but in a fight, you can't really contest this army. They don't do... Well, I mean, they do damage, but it's barely noticeable. Another Shaman going down. 1, 2, 3... Oh, 4 Devours again!
Oh, I didn't even see them all going off. Okay. That's a lot of munchies. That's 12 supplies stuck in the stomachs. There's going to be a lot of experience as well soon for the Orc. I don't believe quite enough for level 4, but going to get him close. Something we saw from Lin against Infi was adding in a lot more grunts in the late game, which sounds weird against human, but since Infi plays basically no sorceresses, we still see 0. They can be decent, but at the moment, grunt count for Soin is really low, so he can, it seems like, only fight when he comes in for the Devours, but after that, the MK will turn it around over time. And yeah, it's still hard to tell, like, who's even ahead of this game.
I'm not too sure, and I thought this game would be over at the 10-minute mark, but but this is a huge power spike for Infi. Now, level 4 Archmage for the level 2 Aura, level 5 MK for the level 3 Clap. And usually, Clap destroys the Orc army, but you know what? Kodos are quite tanky, and Kodos are the key to this army.
Double mana potion for the Mountain King as well. I feel very reminded now of Chaemiko's game suddenly. Infi, it says he's at 72 supply. The army definitely doesn't look like it. I guess that's because the Breakers are still in the stomachs. We do see Wind Riders now. Really like that. Pressuring the Priest then in the back.
Yeah, this is a nice addition. Soin playing very, very smart against a player that's supposed to be a tier above him. He has a lot of tools to be working with, right? He has Ensnare for lockdown, he got Devour, he got Purge, he got Lightning Shield, and of course Chain Lightning and stomp the 2 key
player's
spells.
forces are
Lots of 2 mana potions here for the MK.
That's going to be a lot of stomps. And very importantly, he held on to the big invul potion as well for that most deciding fight. I really like that blacksmith here buffing up these breakers. Going to be a 2-1 soon. But suddenly the breakers were devoured, and now we can see the supply difference very clearly. Soin almost ahead by 10.
And yeah, what is Infi's answer to the Wyvern? Is it just Stormbolt Water Elementals? Or will he add Hippo Rider, Dragonhawks or Gyros?
Yeah, as long as it's only 1 Wind Rider, I think it's fine. You can kind of tank the damage on that. When it gets 3, then it's going to become really problematic. Oh, Lightning Shield harass from the ground at the expansion.
Sweet.
At the same time, pushing into the main.
Exactly.
Very nice play.
He's going for the Mountain King. He's in the middle of everything, which is of course an invite to the big clap. But immediately counterplaying this with the heal scroll. He saw the workshop now, so it is going to be gyrocopters. 2 shaman. Oh, another speed heal scroll. Not sure if that's too early, maybe. He's got to get out.
Right, the clap's starting to rack up. But Soin saved almost everything.
Once again,
He
the
could fall back to the fountain and heal there for free as well if he wants. 3 peasants died at the expansion. A 4th one will be going down. Maybe.
1 devour, 2 devours, 3 devours again. Infi so far doesn't find an answer to the Kodo play. But okay, he's gonna push now. I don't think Soin is ready for this defense.
He is in position at least, but a lot of his army is still healing up. He needs heal scrolls desperately. And he does have 2. On the TC, we'll be giving 1 over momentarily. But he's still far away from level 5s. Ideally, at this point in the game, you would like to be level 5 TC, and then the stomp can be so powerful.
A player's forces are
Yeah, for this fight, Infi didn't use one of his mana potions. Soin used 2 heal scrolls. He had to buy 2 new ones. That's a lot of gold not going into army or upgrades. Does he even need upgrades with these Kodos? Okay, if Soin wants to keep this expansion up, he has to engage very soon. So many breakers with the 2-1 upgrades. Not too sure if he can even hold this mass repair now. Soin, what are you waiting for?
And that's the thing, right? Now the Kodo beats are kind of, well, not useless, but they can't devour. They're still digesting, I believe. We're going in, looking for the first clap, doing good damage. Speed scroll reposition. TC trying to find the connection into the back. He hits the heroes. He hits the MK. He does have an invul, though. And the next clap is gonna hurt. Oh my god, the damage return on the orc side. Soin has to fall back. TC in trouble, getting stunned, getting slowed, getting focused, getting low. But with the invul, he will survive. Next clap coming in. Counter invul on the Mountain King. Heal scroll on the orc side. But that was the last one.
And he's down to 65 supply. Infi seems to be taking this game here with this fight. There's still 1 more mana potion. Kodos are falling. Units are getting back for Infi. The gyrocopters did a wonderful job. They are allowed to die now. The Wyvern has been taken out. Clap over and over. And there's no heal scroll anymore. He's trying to get this Mountain King, this TC counter clap, but he can't threaten this MK. He's way too tanky. And so on. Just running away. Losing more and more and more.
A town is under siege.
Infi, is he going to chase or is he just going to go for the base attack? That would also be a viable option. But he wants to look for more kills. Mountain King has a bit of mana against him. He's suddenly almost level 6, dude! Jesus Christ, so many kills. AM with a level 3 aura now providing so much mana regen. Another Kodo is going to be going down. This game is going downhill quickly. Great grunt harass at the expansion again. But I think Infi can afford it with a fight like that.
Yeah, this is the second grunt. He also harassed this with Wolf, so making good usage of that. Soin is about to hit 5-5, which is once again a little bit of a game changer, but I think the supply speaks volumes, and it's not only the orc harass at the human expansion, it's also the human harass at the orc expansion, so we're basically down to 1 base, 1 base.
And mains will be expiring kind of soon, around 2 minutes or so. Another thing to be kept in mind, we have a Witch Doctor. I really like that in the late game. Can plaster the map with sentries. Hopefully not get found. Mountain King Clarity's running, but no mana pot anymore. I guess Infi didn't have the cash. And also, at the moment, no invul.
Okay. He still has 1,200 HP and 8 armor. Not the easiest target for sure. But here we go again. The big concave of breakers. This must be a trade, right? Soin can't play this, can't fight this. And we're getting close to the 21-minute mark, so that means the main bases are expired. Will we go down to no base, no base?
Forces are under attack.
Well, I think Infi is gonna try to TP back to his expansion to save it. Does he have the time? Kills the enemy expo and TP is coming back. So, and does he have the damage? He doesn't commit to the kill. He's gonna fall back.
With Shockwave, maybe. So, like, when do we ever see a breaker siege like this? When do breakers kill buildings?
When they have 2 attack upgrades, I guess.
And when there's 20 of them, probably.
Yeah, he made a lot of breakers this game. Like, I think at least 10 or so have been devoured in this match.
Yeah, looks like it.
And there we go. Mains have run dry, and now it's truly desperate time for Soin. Expo was killed. No more main income.
He has one more speed scroll. Like, how often can he do this speed scroll devour thingy? The fact that Infi is still mining definitely speaks against him. Does Soin have... I don't think he has gold for another expansion. Nope, 180.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, what's the play now? It looks desperate.
Infi's moving out on the map. He's got the TP to get back if he needs. I like the Watch Momental. Kept at the expansion as well. It's going to protect the peasants a little. And good scouting. Good scouting all the time by Infi. Army in one place. And the fast gyros looking in another. And he's going to find his orc friend right now.
Okay, is this the end? So many shaman, but what do they do against breakers? The Kodo's in a little bit of a weird position. One devour. They're getting blocked a little bit. This seems very desperate. Will we see the ultimate of the Mountain King? I guess that's the biggest question here. Oh my god, speaking of big, this clap, wonderful. Level 6, and Infi is going for Cosmodan. Lots of ultimates recently, and with that, yep, magic immunity 1-0 for Infi.
Beautiful. The MK turns to stone there in the end. He dodged the stomp with that, by the way, which was pretty cool. Very quick to skill that. And yeah, Infi gets the win here, but man, that was close.
Yeah.
That was a hard game. He had to fight tooth and nail to get this victory, losing so many breakers to the Devour. At one point in the game, Soin was up by 15 supply, but Infi, resilient as always, doesn't give up, stays alive, and gets his late game win condition with level 5 MK. And at some point, too many breakers can't devour them all.
That's the big strength of Infi, right? He might struggle in a couple of matches, but what then? Like, it's so much harder to kill him than to get ahead against him. He always finds the win condition. He always finds the way out by stalling, by harassing, by causing some fires here and there. And sometimes his opponent is focused too much on distractions and not on the main goal. Infi is a god. Soin fighting uphill now. 2 more maps. Next one is Last Refuge. Northern Isles would be the decider, or Infi takes the victory here, which would mean that Soin would probably be eliminated.
All right. Yeah, Infi with the lead, as we kind of expected. Last Refuge, I was thinking about it in my head. Humans, especially Infi, have been playing more and more expansions, especially on Echo Isles, but also on Northern Isles. Last Refuge, is that a map where you want to start trying to go for a fast expansion?
Infi loves fast expansions, and sometimes he does it even if it's a little ill-advised. When he was losing a couple of matches, like Northern Isles against Focus at WCG, WGL, he lost, and then last week against Lin, he was killed by a panda very early on. So I hope during this 1 week, he learned that the one base play, or his one base play, is a lot better, and maybe expand on tier 2, but the early expansion, haven't seen it working too often.
Yeah, I also feel like LR has a lot of upsides for playing one base tier 2 tech, and as you said, maybe tier 2 expansion, but only maybe, because you usually have a pretty solid early if you go for the Shadow Priest pull, which is pretty much standard nowadays, and then it's really good for Mountain King creeping. There's a Merc Camp to creep, there's a lab, there's a merchant, you get lots of good items, lots of good experience, and then also the way the expo is set up positioning-wise for a tier 2 expansion isn't too shabby. So I would expect a one base play, but I feel like, and this is just my personal feeling, like Infi has been trying to explore more and more fast expansion options. So maybe that's something also that he's interested in discovering here for himself. With a lead, perhaps he can afford to take a little bit of a risk as well.
Yeah, you kind of don't want to play the one strategy that works too many times, because then there's more data for the other players to explore and to analyze and to find solution, and then you sit there without a counterplay. So Infi, always smart, always mixing up his plays, and now getting the victory here in this best of 3. We'll see. The game is about to start. Next map, Last Refuge. And what does Soin have up his sleeve? Another big question, right? Like, this was already a little bit of a pocket strat. We have seen it before with the mass Kodos, but not too often. Will he play even more standard than he did already, or is this something completely different?
In Europe, some humans have been rediscovering on only one map, this map, the Blade Master again. Go for a circlet, be very aggressive. If he's going for a Mercamp creep, then bingo bango. But in general, keep pressure on the AM and then go for late game Shadow Walker Raider. That is, I think, mostly Europe specific though. I haven't seen it yet from Asia. Not in a long time anyways. So I would expect standard here by Soin. Maybe go for a sneaky expo timing. Make sure you get decent levels on your TC. Slow down the AM. If it is AM, is there an option here for Mountain King?
I don't think so. I've not seen this in this matchup. Like, what do you really do with the Mountain King early in this matchup?
Yeah, on Terra stand maybe it's seen, but that's because it's perfect MK map. You get good items, easy level 3, mercs, easy expansion, clap, clap, clap. But that is certainly not so simple here. So we are going into the standard hero choices, AM versus Farseer. 3 farms as well. Some humans from Korea, Chaemiko especially, like to go for a really fast 2 farm tech, but Infi, he likes his footies. He wants to have more of them by his side.
I agree. And with like his legacy with Footman, why not? He's using them so well, he's trading them so well. Very few players in the history of the game can use Footman better than Infi does. So he's going to the right-hand side. This is the mercenary camp pull. And the Farseer will probably be too late to arrest this.
Yeah, Soin didn't go for the peon scout. Some orcs were doing that, are doing that, to then have the peon in position to steal the Shadow Priest. Kind of like we saw earlier from 1-0 against Chaemiko, when the footy pulls out the Mercamp, then you move in with your worker, and then you steal the Shadow Priest. But that was not done by Soin. He's going to be going for a bit of creeping here himself with the Grunt early. That works out fairly well. But Infi having the Shadow Priest in the early game against the Wolves is amazing.
Okay. Yeah, there's the Dispel. And then there's only one Wolf left. And what do you do with it, really? There's a little bit of experience for Soin with that. That's nice. Can he steal another? Not yet. Can he prevent level 2 somehow? Oh, not when the Grunt is getting ensnared. Oh. Big deal. It needs to deny. Doesn't, I think. Oh my.
I think he actually got the deny, but still, that hurts. And now he's got the aura. Now there's more region for the Shadow Priest. He's gonna have another Dispel in a second.
Rough.
That's a big yikes.
Never lose a Grunt in the early game. Very aggressive and little unlucky. These trolls, man. Standing true to their name.
It is a little unlucky, but ideally you want to have the ensnare cooldown in your mind, and then the troll waits for the next unit to move into range, and that's the one he ensnares. So you kind of can't predict it, but it's of course also something you can easily forget. And now it seems like Infi forgot that his Shadow Priest might be getting ensnared, which it did. But again, he's going to get 2 wolves for this.
One send away, but doesn't even have the damage to kill the Shadow Priest. He can heal himself, which is of course draining a little bit of mana, but you really want to take out that Shadow Priest. Mana regen is nice now that he has Brilliance Aura, so still a good addition to this army, not blocking supply. So in getting another Grunt here, gotta be careful about these ensnares.
Alright, right? Now that the Shadow Priest doesn't have Dispel mana anymore, the Wolves not so easily dealt with. We do have 2 Water Elementals though. But Infi could take a lot of damage from this camp, potentially.
Experience?
The experience and the item, it's of course still very good.
Playing around the last hit here.
A player's forces are
And
under
Infi got it. But Water Elemental went to Soin, at least a little bit of experience. But yeah, again, 5-footman, good pressure, camping on Soin's side of the map, stealing his experience. The grunt loss, of course, amazing. And Infi even saves the Shadow Priest.
Oh, if he gets the Murlocs, is that level 3?
Oh,
that
I
would be
think
dangerous.
so. Oh, the Nightcrawler gives a lot.
Saving the mana. Oh no, never mind. Summons the Water Elemental now. I thought he was
Cast
saving
the
the mana for level
curse.
3. Good items here
A
certainly
player's
for
forces
the
are under
AM.
attack.
The Orc tier 2 buildings will come up. They won't get cancelled. But still, early level 3 AM is nice. Is he going Water Elemental or Aura, I wonder?
I mean, it's gonna be
Water
purges.
Elemental. Yeah. So early it can be nice. But early level 2 Aura is also nice. Both so nice.
So many good
Can't
options
we just
for
get
you
level
here.
4 right away?
Sure, easy. Tome of Power, bring it back. TC is in, and that should be the sign to retreat for Infi, but he really wants this level 3 here. Maybe a little too greedy. End snares from the creeps flying again. Oh, Storm. That was a little off. He wanted to prevent the last hits, probably, from the Water Elemental. And again, Mountain King, double Sanctum.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of similarly playing to the early game on Concealed. Creep to level 2, try to get level 3. If you don't get it, it's okay. Keep on pressuring. Stop the TC from creeping. Wait for your MK to come out, and then maybe fall back to creep yourself. But now he also has the option to keep playing aggressively. TC very likely wants to go for the natural creep. He can harass that. And if Soin even wants to go for the Merc, that could be punished very easily. But okay. Natural should be the call. Again, good illusion scouting. And this time it's the MK being aggressive. 1 kill for level 3 AM.
What can he grab? There's 3 Storm Bolts here. 1 Kodo. Again, the early Kodo. A little bit Lin-esque at the previous WCG. Very, very careful with the Storm Bolts. There we go. Aiming for the TC?
Wait, you got level 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good question. A wolf,
Did
maybe?
you spell a wolf? Yeah.
Yeah, there's only 1 wolf left. Must have been a wolf. And it's Aura too. Ooh, this is a nice support for the MK.
Player's forces are under attack.
Yeah. And now he falls back. Creeps the merchant. If he solo creeps that with the MK, that is instant level 2. And this TC again slowed down so much for the creeper. Yeah.
Infi is finding, again, great answers to this play. So, how scared does Infi have to be about these Kodos again? I think he played well on map 1, and you don't have to change much, right?
Yeah. I think the critical thing also is to not allow the orc too early of an expansion. Make sure you can properly counter expand so that the orc doesn't just overwhelm you brutally with 75 versus 60 supply. Big heal potion for the Mountain King. Very good. TC with the ring, not too shabby, and finally level 2. The peon moved out. He wants to go for the expansion there right now. Infi going for the merchant. Feels like that's something that Soin has to contest.
He's trying with the Chain Lightning, getting a little bit of experience here, but it's all about the Ogre Magi, all about that consumable. Mountain King makes not use of the shop yet. He wants
Wonderful
to go for
shop delay.
yeah, even the greatest gets tricked by that from time to time. TC not level 3. Magi still up, so who's gonna get the big kills here? Militia coming in at the perfect time. Storms them, but they're still part of this fight.
TC dropping low. Next Stormbolt is coming in soon. Soin knows this, has to pop the Speed Scroll. Dispel even against a bit of the Speed Scroll here. Gets off 1 Shaman. Kodo Beast, though, could get off a Devour. Mountain King in a bit of trouble here. Has the big potion, though, still to be kept in mind. Uses it for a good effect and can now get a return kill on the Kodo Beast. That should be enough damage to force that one out of the battle. Yup, gets it. Gets a Footman back and still has that heal scroll to use.
Yeah, man. I don't know if Soin checked the inventory of the Mountain King. There was so much pressure on him, and then Infi just popping that potion and everything is fine again. Has to town portal out of his front yard, basically. But he gets the item, big potion there as well, and close to level 3. But Infi has the supply lead, shuts down the expansion immediately.
Yes.
A town is
Held
under
on to the
siege.
heal scroll, held on to the invul, or did he buy a new one? I'm not quite sure. Cancel the expansion here, most crucially. Might be forced out of this with a TP, but then again, TC doesn't have much mana. Great positioning on the MK as well, waiting in the front line.
Alright, that's
but
level
that's
3. But what are the targets for the Stomp? The heroes, a priest, and the Shadow Priest. That's it. What do you do?
The next ensnare, going for the AM. Oh, that could be dangerous.
Chain
Getting
lightning?
focused with a chain lightning. That might be scary. TP, heal scroll first, invul transferred. Infi wants to stay in this.
Absolutely. He's willing to brawl. He's bloodthirsty. Now repositions a little. Does want to retreat without the town port as he used 2 consumables already. Mountain King kind of getting low on mana. No clap at the moment. But more militia coming in. That's expensive at the end of the day.
Patient with the mana here on the MK, not using the Stormbolt. Could have killed the Grunt there, but I guess he has more important targets in mind. Cancelled the expansion again. Speed scroll over.
Chain Lightning getting rid of some of these peasants. Police is shocked. The Kodo Beasts are still hungry. Didn't get off too many Devours this time.
Yeah, these peasant losses mean lumber's going to be low, so counter expansion is going to be really hard. So Infi may have to keep up the pressure here, may have to prevent the orc expansion in the first place.
Also, upgrades will be way later than on game 1, where he had 2-2 in the end, at the moment 0-0. Still at 50 supply. Still using a lot of his gold, not for army, but items. And I think that's the case here again.
Got the Devours once more. The MK was at the shop, but didn't buy anything.
Yeah,
He didn't have enough gold.
thought first... Oh, he got the invul potion. It's just the overlay. Misleading a little.
A player's forces are under attack.
So it's going to be level 3 MK. Very big deal, obviously. Gonna go clap 2 here. It's going to be plenty of damage. Mana on the MK is still looking decent.
Yeah, for the first time in forever, we got even supply.
Yeah, and that's with breakers in the stomach.
True. So he actually has a little lead. Where to go from here? There's no consumables of Soin, no speed scroll, no potion, no scroll, nothing. And the clap hurts.
Got another Devour. The first Devour from earlier is about to digest, so then you can go for another one. Ooh, the claps, though. That's a lot of damage. No heal scroll for the orc, and no time to go to the shop either, it seems.
Uh-oh. Infi pushing forward, now having the supply lead once again. Only Raiders are the answer for Soin, but they can be easily clapped. And the impact of the TC, once again, very, very limited. Focus fire on the hero, but there is this invul, and then he can reposition. Uh-oh, Kodo Beasts. When 3 units are about to die, and the Expo is only at 60%. Once again, guaranteed cancel.
God, this is so close, dude. Very important for Infi here to stay in this and cancel the expansion. Because the militia he lost, as I said, he doesn't have the lumber to counter-expand, so he needs to cancel this, and he does. But that's gonna be at least 2 more breakers, I believe, getting devoured here
Players'
over time.
forces are under
3, in
attack.
fact.
Cancel culture is strong in Infi at the moment, going for the 1-1 upgrade. Almost no progress on the Mountain King, right? He's still on level 3 for a long time. He's not rising up to level 5 as fast as he was before, but he continues to steal experience from so inside of the map. Scourge Bone Chimes taken away from the Orc, that always feels good. Will sell it, can sell it to get items for that. He's backed against the corner now. Could be pushed into this position and then forced into a TP.
Also a good position for the clap, though. Everything has to funnel in against this Mountain King. Oh. Fire spreading all over the place. Cast in the back, far away from the breakers. Hard for Infi to set up a proposition again. Farseer in trouble, getting Stormbolted. Focused. Nothing for him to heal with. Heal scroll has to be used to keep the first hero alive. Kodo Beast can still get off Devours. AM in trouble as well. Has to TP out. The chain lightning could be his end. That was so close.
And during the
But he
town
gets
port,
away.
he still gets 2-3 more kills on the Shaman. Soin struggling a lot of Devours again, but again, no expansion and no big level ups here. I think the Storm was a little too early. Maybe he queued the Chain Lightning, but couldn't really get it off, and that would have been the necessary damage. Maybe it was a little premature, though.
Yeah, I think he thought he was in range for the Chain Lightning, but he was just slightly out of range. Yeah, if that lands, I think that's the hero kill, and that could have been the game right there. We have control magic now against the Wolves, and Infi moving across the map without a TP. Bravely.
Soin wanted to use the Wolves to scout, I guess, but Infi is right in his face as a stop sign, and you don't get any information about what I'm doing. We just continue to fight. And good position once again. Clap hits everything. And the TC, where do you engage? It's all blocked. The entire front line. And so the only valid target is the MK. But that's an easy solution to keep him safe, and that's potions.
Yeah, nicely timed invul there shortly before the Stomp, but that's the last invul. What's really cool with this push by Infi as well is he's keeping Soin away from the shop, away from the heal scrolls.
Yeah.
That is very smart.
Yeah.
And he steals the big item here. What's he gonna get? Heal wards. Very nice.
This is once again such genius positioning by Infi. I don't know how many times we praise that now, but it's never getting old because he's always so impressive with it. Pushing Soin back into his base. Of course, he's close to his own shop. Of course, he's getting fast reinforcements, but in this matchup, you want the invuls, you want the heal scrolls, and yeah, nothing for Soin.
And if he gets the next invul away from the enemy shop. But Soin mostly wants the heal scrolls anyways, and of those there is still some available.
So, is he too stubborn with his Kodos? Or is that the only way he can play this?
It has been shown successfully in the past by Lin, by Fly. I think it can work. I don't think this game is looking necessarily bad for him. Oh, this is a weird fight now. The creeps are engaged. The red camp is active. Whoever takes damage from it will be at a big deficit. So and now the first Kodo in trouble. Clap comes in. MK getting focused quickly. Invul makes it so that Stomp doesn't connect.
These creeps, man. A little wild. Kodo falls. Break it back.
And he's stealing all the buffs from the camp for his own army. It's also great.
So good. Bloodlust. Inner fire. All that good stuff. We got Bloodlust on the Mountain King now. And on the Water Elementals. Look how huge it is. Red spot goes to Infi as well. Wood of Cunning. Little unlucky.
So staying in this though. MK with the mana potion has more spells to use. Still no heal scroll for Soin. I think without one he can't really engage into this. And the slow, by the way, is starting to kick in while the orc doesn't have a speed scroll anymore.
Yeah, what is this? Infi playing Sorks. This is something we've not seen in a long time, and it feels like the only target that presents itself to Soin is and stays the Mountain King. Now he has even more armor and is even more tanky, almost 1000 HP, so he can't kill anything. I don't know, the Chain Lightning doesn't seem to be enough. This position is so
taking
bad.
control of this game now, finding more and more kills, and the Kodo goes down. Soin is crumbling. I think there's no other word for it. Down to 43 supply, only 50 pushing forward. With 57, he has gold as well to spare. He can go for some items at the shop. Heal scroll, invul, finds more kills. Soin backed against the corner, about to lose this map.
It's so fascinating how Infi never goes for a big all-in push, but just going for a lot of small skirmishes and getting a little bit of an advantage every single time he does it, and that it eventually results in a big lead in the end. Mana potion would be nice now, but I think Infi knows that he's very, very close to choking him out.
He doesn't have a mana potion, but with the AM level 5, Aura level 3, he's got a passive mana fountain. Gets the hero kill on the TC. That will finally be it. GG. 2-0 for Infi. I'll win it today.
Indeed, and he stays in the run for the playoffs after losing to Infi last week. 1-1 score now for Soin. We're getting very close to saying bye-bye. He lost to Joshishi. He lost to Infi. And he has one more game in this group, and that's gonna be Lin. So I think he's out now.
Maybe a chance at least to show his TC headhunters once more. I would like to see that. But yeah, this win today goes to Infi. But our series is not over yet. The third map will be played out. It's going to be either a 3-0 victory for Infi or a 2-1. 3-0, of course, what you want ideally. And for the map score, this might be really important at the end of the day if we have an equal amount of win between some players. And we're going to go on to Northern Isles for this one, where Infi showed fast expansion plays before.
I am so sure he's going to try it again. It's not super high stakes now. He failed with it twice. And if you're Infi, you kind of want to show the world that you can do everything, that you're omnipotent. That's why he's playing all the races on his stream. And yeah, I'm just so sure that he stubbornly goes for this expansion once again, just to prove that it can work.
Yeah. And I'd like to see it as well. I'm sure there's some improvements that he can make. I'm sure that it can work. What I'm not sure about is if it's the better strategy than playing one base or
no. No way this is better. But, you know, for some players, sometimes in some situations, it's not about what's better. It's about what they like. It's about what they feel. And especially Infi in a match like this.
On the right map, under the right scenarios, fast expansion for human can be really, really good. It might even be the best strategy, like Echo Isles, for example. But of course, Northern is going to be very different. We're going to have no merc camps there to use early. But if you go for the fast expo creep, the nice thing is you get a level 2 pretty secured. That can be the problem oftentimes on Northern Isles, right? You get harassed right away if you're playing the standard with the 2 or 3 farm tech. And then the wolves are there, the grunt is there, and you can never reach level 2. You run out of mana entirely, you don't have the aura. It can feel quite bad. But Infi now, he must feel quite good. He got the win today that he needed to keep himself in the running. And now maybe some space to experiment.
Yeah, but so far, we haven't seen a lot of clowning, right, in these game 3s. Usually I would say, knowing the scene and knowing the players, this game 3, if the series is already decided, would be the time for some pocket strats, for some fun strats, for some like request games. But no, they all play it very seriously, and once again showing the magnitude of the World Cyber Games.
Yeah. Even 120 has been playing completely tryhard mode, which is telling you something. Didn't do so well for him as he's 1-1. We saw him earlier. Losing to Chaemiko, that was the big surprise of the day. In our second match, there was no surprise upset. Infi does get the victory here. The only question left to be answered is if it's going to be a 3-0 or not. How does Soin do now mentally? He knows he has already lost his first 2 matches. The best he can hope for here is another map. Maybe a win on his last playday. Is he mentally defeated? Does he still want to show his best? What's going through his mind?
Or does he want to show that TC Headhunters can work against human, as he showed it in so many matchups before, and he loves to play it. We've seen it from him in 2-on-2s and in 1-on-1s now. Maybe it is the time for that. So we load into map number 3. Welcome to Northern Isles.
I would love to see TC Headhunters. Would be the first time I ever see it against human. If there's one guy to do it, it would be Soin. In that case, I guess it should be a delayed altar, but, well, this is looking quite standard here so far.
Yeah.
Gonna have altar and the burrow for a fast Farseer most likely. So, you're saying 90% Infi is going for the fast expo?
I would bet a lot of Warcraft 3.info coins on that, if that would be possible.
That's an idea, dude. Betting on strategies? Evolution of the betting system.
I mean, in football, you can do something similar, right? You can say, like, how many goals in the first 20 minutes or something?
Those betting sites are insane. You can bet on everything. You can
how
bet
many
on how many times someone gets tunneled. if the referee is gonna get punched in the face, it's insane, dude.
No one should punch a referee in the face, man. That's not good sportsmanship. We have a Farseer once again, so looks like we get the standard play from Soin. Now the question is, what's Infi doing? Third farm coming.
Yeah, that we should pretty much expect. 2 farm tech, a very player-specific thing nowadays, mainly Chaemiko, playing that with rifles. The Koreans still like playing rifles quite a bit in this matchup, but Infi and TH, I feel like I haven't seen it from them in half a year. They're all aboard the breaker train.
Yeah, absolutely. Fast tier 2. Is Mass Wyvern a possibility? It's also kind of easily counted, right, against human?
That's interesting, actually.
I know.
Wyvern and Shaman. You can purge the water elementals. He doesn't have rifles for a really long time. Transitioning into air would be really tough. But if it's scouted, though... Wyvern oftentimes very hit or miss. If you can fit them into a big army, like if you have 55 supply already and then add 2 or 3 Wyvern to that against the mainly Priest Breaker army, that can be really good. Shown by Lin very impressively before. But putting all your eggs in the Wyvern basket is definitely a risk.
Okay. Is this...
A player's
I don't
forces
know
are
if you
under
can...
attack.
Nah, doesn't look like an expansion though, right?
He's going for a tower though before tech.
Yeah,
so-
that worried me a little as well. But he's so
town is under
distracted by
siege.
Soin. When do you find the time to creep?
Ah, 4 farm. Okay, Expo, here we go.
Okay. Phew. This is delayed. The tech by Soin was already very, very fast. That might be an opening here.
This might be TC before Expo is finished. That would be crazy. Or
Then go Shockwave.
some orcs have been playing Panda.
Yeah, Lin last week
A player's
successfully
forces
against
are
Infi.
under attack.
Yes.
And there's peasants falling to the wolves. That's not really what's supposed to happen. Like that early game for Soin. And again it shows this fast expansion on Northern Isles play, not the best thing to do.
Infi is determined though. He
Yep.
wants to make this work. God damn it. It was the last thing I do. He says.
So stubborn, right? Like since WGL, when was that? July? It's like 2 months of trying this strategy.
Big last hit. Goes to the AM. Farseer here, he got the experience of a water elemental and 1 peasant. I don't think anything else. Would have been wonderful to get the big boy, but items go to the AM. Those are not the greatest. Ring and crystal ball.
Opening up with the
A
beastery
player's
here.
forces are under attack.
Expo still coming. So, and what's your second hero? Beastery of 4 Lodge, right? It's the Panda. Okay. More pressure. He wants to end this quick.
Needs to get a lot of peasant kills here. With a nicely placed Breath of Fire with some grunts and wolves coming in, this could be a ton of peasants going down. Threatening us around. On something. On the Panda. And he gets it right away.
That was pretty obvious though, wasn't it? Needs to get another Breath of Fire out. Is the cooldown ready? Should be, but the Panda... Oh no! Only 1 breath! And he dies. That wasn't good enough, I think. Yeah, peasants are falling, but grunts are falling as well. That's 8 supply killed in the defense. This pig is blocking a little as well. Not good.
That's an ouchie.
Yeah, that looks like double G's to me. Almost. Panda's gonna be back soon, alright, but... the army's gonna take some time. Still working on the
A player's
infrastructure.
forces are under attack.
Infi sees, by the way, that the lodge is kind of late. It's only around halfway done now. He's
Yeah.
about to hit level 3. Could absolutely go for Water Elemental 2 here. And apply pressure
He should.
with that.
He should. Why not? That was too easy. That was way too easy.
A few peasants did go down, so lumber for Infi is not looking great. His tier 2 is going to be quite late. But that is level 3 for him. And level 2 Water Elemental instantly.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Good for creeping. Good for holding against this
A
style.
player's forces are under attack.
The Panda is back, alright. But what can you do now? Double level 1 hero against level 3. Supply. Infi is running away with that as well, even though it's only tier 1. And the army quality of Soin is definitely higher, but what to do? Without Purge, without Lightning Shield, hard to fight now.
It's looking looking a little desperate if you ask me. Man. What are you supposed to do now with two level 1 heroes?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Level 2 here, maybe? Okay.
Chain
Another
lightning is
grunts around, though? Are you kidding me?
nasty. And chain lightning doesn't do too much.
Forces are under attack.
Drunken haze would be pretty great at this point.
Dude, you know what?
What?
Dude, how about some Sancti, by the way? Some Sanctus. Triple Sanctum, huh?
Triple Sanctum?
Triple Sanctum?
Oh,
is it time?
That's an ancient tale. That's an old legend. I don't know if that's really a thing in Warcraft 3. I mean, the old warriors are singing songs about that Triple Sanctum play, but I think it's just a myth.
I think nowadays, I guess what they do more is like Double Sanctum plus Blacksmith, which can also be quite good. Lots of footies here, man. Classic Infi play, fast expo, keep it safe, solid defense, and then tons of footies to keep you alive until you reach tier 2. This didn't work against Focus at WGL, where Focus had certainly much more of a strong early game than Soin had here.
Yeah.
With mass raiders coming in, finding kill after kill after kill. Sniping all those footies one after the next.
And he's towering and powering up.
Are under attack.
Up to 50 supply. Tech could be finished soon. Region scroll alright. This is ultra desperate time to go for the hero kill already. Nets are flying, but to no success and threatening another surround here. Can't quite get it.
Is that 10 footmen?
That is a lot of footmen.
Good value on that region scroll. With that many footmen, you always get it.
Fish
2
style.
towers now. Nice farm wall.
Yeah. Infi SimCity, even in this not too important game 3. Very, 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 very good. And tier 2 is at 60%. Soin's clock is ticking.
The town is under forces are under attack.
Blacksmith is being constructed. Second Rags rifles would actually be pretty damn good, wouldn't it? There's no TC in this game. No Stomp to worry about.
Absolutely agree. But Infi doesn't play rifles against Orc, does he? Oh, lightning shield on the militia. That was sweet. But Infi reacting immediately, splitting the army a little, minimizing the damage. Finally level 2. Everything is hurt already.
Yeah, I think Soin was trying to snipe the altar, and Infi is trying to prevent just that. But it's still kind of a scary Orc army. So many ensnares, a lot of beef. And he's gonna have to give up this altar. Needs to remake it at the expansion. Good timing by Soin. Delays this MK by quite some time.
Yeah, first real successful move. Oh, the altar is already finished and he is already building the MK. Can he snipe it again? With a limited HP on the Raiders, has to keep them safe.
Repair.
Ooh, mass repair indeed. But he has to run, otherwise he's losing 9 supply. He might be losing 9 supply anyway.
Only one shaman there goes down, but again, dangerous.
Oh, Raider down.
Oh, to the towers. That's not supposed to happen.
Feels bad, man.
That wasn't supposed to happen, as Knopf would say.
It is rifles, dude. Oh. Panda with the biggest lightning shield I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts a lot, actually. There's no dispel against this.
Yep.
Suddenly, Farsi level 3. Here come the wolves.
Yeah, town portal, man. What? MK is out. Dude, that was one of the best lightning shields I've... Yeah, one of the best lightning shields, period.
Is he stuck outside his farm wall? Oh, the SimCity backfiring on him a little bit.
Oh my. What a crazy game. What a fun game.
Yeah, that was a sick lightning shield, dude. Oh my god. Would have loved to see the damage counter on that one. But
technology
we should have
isn't
spell
just
against
there
that
yet.
soon.
Yeah, we should. And close to level 4 Archmage. Still no level 3 Panda. That's going to be the next power spike for Soin.
A player's forces
And
are
50
under
supply.
attack.
He has to brute force this, right? There's no chance for an expansion now.
Yeah. There's no tier 3, I believe, right? Otherwise, Tiny Great Hall, Triple Hero, things might be possible. Infi's trying to get some creeping done, but it's dangerous. He knows he might be creep jacked any second. There's a lot of raiders, there's a lot of threat against these buildings. And more gold as well with
A
pillage.
player's forces
I'm
are
not
under
sure if he
attack.
has it. Looks kind of like it, yeah. So Infi losing farms, that's alright for now. Soon to be supply stuck though. Soin getting gold, Soin getting better and better in this game. Threatening, oh, the lightning shield again on the workers.
Oh, so much damage.
Yeah,
Ouch.
needs a, what could be another big breath of fire as well. But no, not yet. Oh man, if he does that again, that's mass murder. Look at all the damage. Imagine a region scroll now. The value.
Scroll that Soin needs is a heal scroll. Could get one from the merchant. He almost has the gold for it, but he's once again darting over to the other base at the expansion, trying to go for the snipe of the town hall. He's got a lot of raiders here.
Yep. It's a little bit like Focus, right? Just pure building damage. And it's getting better and better and better. The clap is nice, but only level 1. There's another breath of fire. This town hall might fall. Oh, Soin very sure he gets this. Nicely calculated. Getting the kill down to one base.
Okay, that was important to get that. Infi, he had a lot of gold though. He can set it up right away again, possibly. And it's gonna take Soin some time. Get his forces back up. And yeah, there it is. Town hall coming up right
A
away.
player's forces are
Would love
under
to see some more farms in front of it for a bit of a wall. Find some time for the MK to creep. Would love to get level 3. Book of the Dead against these Raider Floods, also pretty good. But no level 3 yet.
Control magic. Not even sure if that's too necessary here. I mean,
Do you even have breakers?
good question. He had rifle casters, right?
I haven't seen them yet.
Panda 3 though. Oh, the AoE is gonna be so good. Needs MK3 for clap against raiders, right? To shut this down instantly. But Soin is coming in. Does he have a competitive army? Can he fight with this army?
He's certainly trying. Coming forward with the ensnares.
a player's forces.
Infi
are
would love to
under
call
attack.
militia from the main, but I don't think he has many to use. Some have been called.
Okay. Limited mana for lightning shield. Clap is good, but still only level 1. Breath of fire. Chain lightning doesn't hit too much actually. Almost even supply. More militia coming in. We need big lightning shields.
Yeah. Used them very well earlier. Where are the lightning shields this time?
I think he's so dry. Maybe he wants to save him for later. But he's donating quite some units, and you shouldn't do that against an MK who's close to 3. That's the level up.
There we go. That changes a lot. Level 2 clap now becoming much, much stronger. With the Kodos again against the breakers, but only 2 this time. Ensnare on the Mountain King. But perfect clap into the front line.
Oh, the heal scroll though! That breath of fire was amazing, but the follow-up, unbelievably well done by Infi, countering this double AoE strat after the second attempt, and now it's Soin losing a lot. Kodobeast comes in and immediately focused, immediately taken out. The first lightning shot on the Panda was great. The second one, you barely even notice it.
And the wolves getting stolen now as well. Everything is turning south for Soin. More raiders might be falling on the way back. Can't make it back home safely. Only hope here at this point for Soin would be to have a counter expansion at this point and then pump out mass units, but he doesn't have that.
No chance. This wasn't the time to fight, my friend. Contesting this, maybe not the right idea. Maybe you really, really want to, because you want to prevent level 2 and you see, okay, this is the last chance to fight against the level 1 clap. But the army just wasn't there. The mana just wasn't there. No connections either. And this is Infi establishing the second base again. Leveling up close to 5 and he got 3. And he's power leveling even more. Getting up to close to 70 supply. Looks like the Iceman got this again.
MK. Gonna get level 4 here, I believe, from this camp. And Soin now in quite a desperate situation. His hero levels are looking good.
Yeah.
Level 4 Farseer. Panda almost level 4 as well. But he's up against such a massive army that Infi has. And Panda and Farseer, how are they supposed to deal with breakers?
Exactly. There's like, it's already hard with the TEC and Storm. And then you have Aura, which can be great. The Panda, Breath of Fire doesn't affect them. Drunken Brawler, well, a couple of crits, I guess. This is not easy at all. He needs to play this run-by style again. But I guess Infi won't allow that. He can afford 1,000,000 TPs again.
MK gonna get up to 4.5 up here. AM is level 5 already. That's gonna be tons of regen for the casters and the Mountain King. And the AM. But it's not about the water elemental so much anymore. It is the late game show of the MKS so often. And Infi, you know, again this game he was in trouble. That lightning shield, man, looked scary as hell. But as he has done so many times in his past career, he stays alive, survives, weathers the storm until the late game, and then he shows his true form.
Also, a showcase of how good Lin was last week, comparing it to this game. Ending the game in, I don't know, less than 10 minutes, I think. Soin wasn't able to do so with pretty much the same strategy, so let's try this. Man, this Breath of Fire has absolutely no effect anymore. The clap absolutely does! And there's also no hero kill potential, right? If you want to take out the raid boss that is the MK, you need Stomp, you need some Focus Fire, you need some Nuke, but this is not happening at all. The army, okay, he's trying to hero focus, but Infi always has the invols. He got a subscription to these potions. Always delivered to him, and that's double G's. Infi is back at WCG, the reigning champion 3-0 Soin.
Gets the win that he needed today. Infi to stay in the running. The 3-0 will help in the points if that should be required later on. So Infi up at 1-1, still absolutely with decent chances. Soin at 0-2. Looking very rough.
Yeah, also the map score of Infi, this result helps him a lot. It was a 1-2 versus Lin, so he didn't get wrecked there. And now with a 3-0 victory, it's not a neutral score, but a positive map score already, putting some pressure onto Joshishi and, of course, Lin, who will face each other down the road, probably next week, I think. So yeah, that was it. First big upset in match number 1. That was Chaemiko 2-1 over 1-0 and a clean sweep from Infi over Chaemiko. Over Soin.
Yeah, especially impressed with Chaemiko today, showing some great games. I think 1-0, not having his best day after starting off with such a thunderous momentum into this group stage, beating Moon, the legend, now falls to Chaemiko today. Group A is gonna be really interesting.
Indeed. Chaemiko 4 points. 1-0, 3 points. Moon needs a big win over Linguagua. Otherwise, he's pretty much out, I would say. Chaemiko can reach the playoffs with the win over Moon. That's not going to be easy, though. Group B, Infi and Lin on top. Joshi and Soin at the bottom. Of course, Lin and Shishi still have to face each other at the second map. And Soin probably eliminated, as we said. Super important for Infi here today. Showing up in style. Tomorrow, TH Michael, Lawlight WFC.
Gonna have two favorites there, certainly TH and Lawlight being those. Michael, we saw him before, didn't look too impressive. Same or similar for WFZ, but new playday, new chances. Gonna have still a shot here in this group stage.
Exactly. You have to mark it in your calendars, guys. World Cyber Games, Monday through Wednesday. Every day at noon with 2 awesome matches, 2 awesome full best of 3s for the next, I don't know, 6 weeks or something before we go into the team battle. So WCG is here to stay. It's going to be your early week entertainment. After packed weekends, we continue to bring entertainment here to you. Warcraft 3 competitive with a $25,000 tournament. It's amazing to have WCG this year, even though it's not offline, it's not the world competition. They found ways to bring Warcraft enjoyment to your home screens, and we're definitely thankful for that as it graces us with amazing games so far.
Yeah. Can't wait for the competition to continue. Who's going to be the next standout performance? I feel like Chaemiko did it today. Making other groups would be amazing for him. We still talk about when it's going to be his big breakout. This could be it for Chaemiko. Out of the groups, getting far. And I'm sure we're going to have many more amazing performances here the next few weeks.
Fly, yesterday 3-0ing Lawlight. There is lots of upsets so far in this tournament. Lots of surprises. Maybe it shifts the meta a little to the left or to the right. We'll see about that. Many, many more games here. So put that in your calendar for sure. Show some love to the World Cyber Games and to Samsung on their social media. That's it for the day. We're back tomorrow with some amazing games. See you then.
Bye.
Powerful innovation has arrived, with the speed to go beyond limitation and discover the unreal. Introducing the Samsung NVMe SSD 970 series, the key to unlocking your power, with the performance to reach beyond the expected, the capacity to illuminate a world of ideas, and the reliability to sustain it all. Samsung's latest NVMe M.2 SSD. Unreal performance realized.